water.
Thanks for calling Jerry Kelly Heating, Air, Plumbing, and Electrical.
Jerry Kelly will fix the leak, install the thing, and make that hard water easy. From the company who's got your whole home covered.
JerryKelly.com.
Chris Ranji, Amy Marks Kors, The Chris and Amy Show.
Check it out. St. Louis, Mound City, we are going to have a great day today.
On 104.1 FM.
Let's take it from the top.
KMOX.
It's almost Thanksgiving, friends, and we are rolling up against it. And my God, you must be traveling right now. Are you driving? Are you driving to wherever it is you're going?
Let me say this. Record number of people driving, but you know where they're not going? Downtown St. Louis, because there was no traffic today.
That is right.
Nobody was on the road driving to St. Louis today.
I didn't see anybody on any interstate anywhere today. Thanks for being a part of our day today. And you can text and call 314-436-7900. Voice messages on the Odyssey app. Super easy to use if you are listening to the show from the app. There's a little button that you just tap it and it says leave a message. You can do that, record it, and send it. If you would also like to, if you're not traveling, do not do this if you're in the car. But if you are at home, if you're in the office, and you want to watch this show, you can. We are on YouTube, Facebook, Twitter. We are at Chris Amy KMOX.
Time now for the top of the order. The top 3 stories everyone will be talking about.
You know what today is?
Yes, I do. 1, 2, 3.
Blackout Wednesday.
No.
Oh, you can call it Skanksgiving if you want. It is Blackout Wednesday. It's
I've never heard of Blackout Wednesday.
You haven't?
So
you didn't go to college. That's why.
You know what that is?
What?
That is a Gen X. Millennials, it was Skanksgiving.
It's both. Yeah.
We'll discuss it.
It's still Blackout Wednesday. Trust me. It is. So anyway, that's today. You can call it whatever you want to. Blackout Wednesday, Skanksgiving. Welcome. You've made it.
Congratulations. Hey, you probably heard this news yesterday. The Cardinals traded Sonny Gray to the Boston Red Sox in exchange for pitchers Brandon Clark, who has a high leg kick, much to my delight, and old Dickie Fitz.
Wow. Dickie Fitz, Richard Fitz is a pitcher. It's the name of a pitcher. And he's related to Howie Fitz.
Is he?
No. Oh. Blues and Devils will play tonight. Jersey is not lost at home in regulation, so maybe the Blues can give it to them. Chiefs will play on Thanksgiving, and I'll go ahead and tell you now, the Bears play on Friday, on Black Friday. So
that will be Blackout Friday for you as well.
Well, probably because I'm going to pass out. It's going to be pass out Friday because that's what they're going to make me do. I guarantee it. Anyway,
you'll be fine.
They're playing the Eagles. It's not going to go well.
I think the Eagles are not hitting their stride.
Here's the thing about pretty much all the teams in the NFC, with the exception of the Rams and maybe Seattle. Everybody's beatable. I mean, even Seattle, I guess, is beatable, but the Rams look really good. And I hate to say it. Sorry, St. Louis, but the Rams do look really good. Everybody else, pretty beatable, I think. So we'll see. Anything can happen.
Okay. So normally on Fridays, we tell you all that it's like cool to mail it in, right? You mail it in because it's Friday. This is basically Friday.
Yeah.
Because tomorrow's Thanksgiving. So you can mail it in. So if you happen to be at work, I don't think your boss will mind if you text us today because we have a lot of questions for you.
Well, just call us.
Or call us 314-436-7900. And because we want to know, is Skanksgiving, was that a millennial thing for you? Did you have Blackout Wednesday, which I think is a Gen X thing? Also, we have questions about the best Thanksgiving side dish, which I already have my favorite picked out. And Matt, he's pretty upset
about
the Thanksgiving side dish.
Well, let me be honest with you. There's a lot of food that are entering the Thanksgiving dish circle that shouldn't belong there. We need to be more exclusive with our Thanksgiving side dishes. All of a sudden, mac and cheese walks in like, what's up? I want to be part of this. And I don't think it should be. Mac and cheese has become like a Thanksgiving side dish, but you can have mac and cheese any day of the week. Thanksgiving dishes should be like things that you only have on Thanksgiving. What do you think?
I think you live by way too many rules.
No. This rule, I will live and die by this rule.
It's like, no, this is the way it should be. Do you know how often Pajeski says something like that? Like, no, this is how it should be on this day. This is how I grew up doing it.
We're going to do this.
I want it to be like this forever.
We're going to do this next week because I walked in today. He's like, Hello, I put a bunch of images on this show document about how beige Christmas shouldn't exist.
Yeah.
This is how Christmas should be.
We're doing that soon, too. I'm declaring war on beige Christmas. I'm bringing back traditional green and red Christmas. We're getting rid of beige Christmas.
Yeah.
So, do you have a problem with the LED lights? Why don't we go back to those big bulbs? That
question.
if one burns out, they all go out, and then you have to figure out how to change it.
Which one
The
it
good
is?
old days, I like to
The
call
good
it.
old days, yeah.
I actually didn't know what caused that. I didn't know that LEDs, that's what makes LEDs so special, is that all your bulbs can go out and not, and, like, 10
Like still
bulbs can, it'll
will
be
some
on.
will work.
Yeah, not all the bulbs. But anyway, I didn't know that was a whole thing, because my sister said when you get your tree, make sure you get LED lights. Do they sell non-LED lights at this point?
I
Aren't
don't know.
non-LED
Well,
lights kind of like you can get them, but it's like a car that doesn't have automatic locks? It's harder to find.
also, and if there is a scientist out there who knows better than me, I'm pretty sure that those old traditional bulbs, like the ones that they used to make 40 years ago, like there's some sort of ozone element to it. I'm not kidding. Like
Really?
it gives off some sort of something that is
The
not.
bulbs.
Yes.
Like the filament?
Yeah. Like, I don't know. If you're a scientist,
But wait.
do not text in if you're not a scientist.
But
We only
Raj-
want scientists texting in.
Did it only hurt the ozone if the bulb broke? Because how is it getting out of the bulb?
So, okay. I know that if you have like an ultraviolet light,
Yeah. Do you feel
It's-
like this is like
No.
not worthy of KMOX right now?
no, I think that these people could do.
100 years and we're like, what
No,
what makes the bulb hurt the ozone layer?
these people can do a whole lot worse. Trust me, I've heard it. but no, there's something about the atmosphere that it's not
that
good.
it emanates from the bulb.
I don't know. That's why
Where
I'm
did
telling.
you hear this?
I've read about it, and I'm telling whoever, if you're a scientist
Yeah.
or if you're somebody who is an expert in this field, please let me know.
What about if you're just old? If you're old, you might know, right? If they're
Okay.
old bulbs.
That's not. Oh, well, I don't think they would know that just because you're old. I don't think it's how that works. But we need to move away from all this traditionalism. Can't we do new things?
No, I don't think so.
Can't
I'm a
can't we have
traditionalist.
new decorations? Can't we have new food items?
See, I think Matt is a conservative at heart because, as William F. Buckley said, we're standing athwart history, yelling "Stop!" That's how we feel.
He was talking about mac and cheese, too, at Thanksgiving, I'm pretty sure.
So Harambe is at work. He texts in. He said he's counting down to a 4-day weekend. Happy Thanksgiving. Also, he said canned cranberry sauce is the GOAT. I kind of agree. You got to have the ridges. If you don't have the canned ridges, it's not even cranberry sauce.
I'm not a fan, but I know
Yeah, I'm not
other
either.
people in my family are.
So you're not that traditional.
No.
There's not the Pilgrims ate canned cranberry sauce. They brought it on the Mayflower. That's why it was canned.
I like the presence of cranberry sauce on the table. I'm just not going to eat it.
But you better be careful about those canned goods. Make sure none of them are dented. You'll
You
get the botulism.
Yeah.
That's what happened on that expedition.
We
The
should have.
Franklin expedition.
I don't know. You know what we should have done is we should have done the Chris and Amy like Thanksgiving PSA. You know, watch out for dented cans of cranberry because you'll get botulism. Don't use bulbs that hurt the ozone layer.
Right. I think all we've done today to start this show
Mhm.
is inform and entertain.
So 314 said they celebrate Drinksgiving.
Same thing.
And Harambe said he has never heard of Blackout Wednesday. It's always been Skanksgiving, but Harambe's a millennial. See?
Well, okay,
think
let's
Blackout
take this
Wednesday,
one person's word for it. Like he
It's
speaks for the
two
entire
persons.
generation.
two persons word for it.
Who's the other person?
Me.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Yeah. You're normal. 314-436.
Okay.
7900. Join the show today. Major Garrett is going to be with us today instead of tomorrow because tomorrow's a holiday. So Major Garrett, Chief Washington Correspondent, CBS News at 9:30. He'll be on the show. We're going to talk a little finance with you. How about a 50-year mortgage? Are you interested? Is it a good idea? Todd Krentz with Krentz Financial will be with us. We'll talk Cardinals and Blues with Scott Warman. We got a lot coming up on the show today. Also, Major Adam Moore with the Salvation Army will be here in studio. It's Chris and Amy on KMOX.
What's up, Missouri? Tony Gonzalez here. I've spent a lot of Sundays right here playing in front of the best fans in football. And now it's almost your turn to get in the game because DraftKings Sportsbook is coming to the Show Me State on December 1st. Soon you'll get fast payouts when you win, a safe and secure app that's easy to use, and promos that keep the action going all season long. It's America's top-rated sportsbook app. New customers can sign up right now and score $300 in bonus bets on launch day, December 1st.
Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app and use code KMOX. New Missouri customers, sign up today and score $300 in bonus bets once we're live. That's code KMOX. In partnership with DraftKings Sportsbook. The crown is yours. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. 21 and over. Physically present in Missouri. Eligibility restrictions apply. Terms at DraftKings.com/sportsbook. Subject to regulatory licensing requirements. Bonus bets are non-withdrawable and expire 7 days after issuance. For additional terms and responsible gaming resources, see sportsbook.draftkings.com/promos.
Hey everyone, I'm Josh Radner, and I am so excited to tell you about How We Made Your Mother, a rewatch podcast looking back at How I Met Your Mother. And I'm here with Craig Thomas, who co-created the show along with Carter Bays. Hi, Craig.
Hey, Josh. Somehow it has been 20 years since the show premiered. I'm going to check the math on that. 10 years since it went off the air. And we thought that made this a perfect time to look back, see what the hell we did, and why the show still seems to resonate with fans around the world today.
Follow and listen to How We Made Your Mother wherever you get your podcast.
Hey, I'm Mike Slater. My dad passed away at the age of 63. It's out of nowhere. Had a stroke. Super hard, obviously, for the whole family. But my dad had life insurance. This is why I have life insurance for my family, for my wife and 4 kids. And the best place to get life insurance is ethos.com because you can do it in 10 minutes. And there's no medical exam and no blood test, just a few health questions. Get life insurance in 10 minutes so your family is protected. Ethos, ETHOS, ethos.com/life.
Wesley Financial Group is not a law firm, and Chuck McDowell, definitely not an attorney. This is Chuck. Do you feel stupid for buying a timeshare? Don't. It's not your fault. You were most likely told you could rent it, and it was a great financial investment. And the deal was available today only. If this happened to you, contact your resort or Wesley Financial Group for help today.
Call Wesley now for your free exit information kit. 800-242-3131. 800-242-3131.
When you want a brand new kitchen, there's nothing to it. There's a brand new way to do it.
100% on time, 100% guaranteed, 100% wow. 3-Day Kitchen and Bath delivers all that, all in 3 days. Here's how it works. Create a kitchen idea, give them 3 days, and suddenly your kitchen becomes the centerpiece of your home. A place where everyone gathers no matter how much room you have in the house. Every project is 100% on time, 100% guaranteed, and 100% wow. Invest in your family and your home. Invest in a kitchen with 3-Day Kitchen and Bath. 3-Day Kitchen offers a 100% satisfaction guarantee and will complete the job to your liking, guaranteed. They're in and out of your home in 3 days or less with top quality products and a great crew. And they're finished on time with no delays. Get details now. Start at 3daykitchenandbath.com. That's the number 3, then daykitchen.com. 3-Day Kitchen and Bath.
3-Day Kitchen and Bath.
Retiring soon? Get the information you need by joining Kyle Jones and Matt Allgeier of Fire Capital Management for your retirement highway, Sunday mornings at 9:30. Investment advisory services made available through Pine Ridge Advisors, LLC, registered investment advisors. Securities made available through AE Financial Services, LLC, member FINRA and SIPC.
Hi, this is Joe Buck. I used to work at KMOX. My dad used to work at KMOX. And I want to congratulate the radio station, the great KMOX, on 100 years strong as the voice of St. Louis.
All right, so a couple of things happened here during the break.
Yep.
One, we had Toasted Ravioli Week 2-3 weeks ago.
Something like that.
Here in St. Louis. And we had some fine people who came in, brought some raviolis, and we were given boxes of frozen
ravioli. The Louisa. You know, the Louisa toasted raviolis, the frozen box they sell at grocery stores. Everybody's had them. They're great.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yes. So that's what they were. And during the break, Frank Ladd, producer Frank, said, "Hey, you need to go open that box and open it on the air and look at them."
Yeah.
And I said, "Okay." So I went to the freezer, which I put mine in the freezer.
Your toasted raviolis.
And I knew it. Like I knew when I put the box in there that if I didn't go get it at the end of the day, they were going to be gone. And of course they're not there because we're in an office and people don't have any respect whatsoever for other people's stuff. So that's one issue. Stop stealing office food, you buttholes. It's not for you.
Yeah.
Unless it has your name on it, it's not for you. Secondly, now I need to know what's in the box.
Well, because So
What's in the box?
What's in gross? I gave Frank my box of toasted raviolis, the Louisa toasted raviolis, because I can't really eat fried food, but it was the sausage and cheese. They're really good. So anyway, a couple days later, he texts me and he's like, this is coming up huge because he has to make dinner for the kids. So what's better than toasted raviolis? And so he said, hey, guess who thought he had dinner planned for the kids? And I said, awesome. He's like, thanks, Amy. He goes, but here's what was in the box. It's a T-shirt, a squishy toasted ravioli, and a coupon for actual toasted ravioli.
So it wasn't even toasted ravs?
No, it was a T-shirt.
Then why are we putting it in the freezer?
Because we all thought it was toasted ravioli. The box was closed.
So whoever stole my toasted
Did not
ravioli,
get dinner.
They didn't get dinner.
Yeah.
They probably, you know what? I hope the same thing happened to them, and they were.
Poor Frank. He's like, he turns the oven on. He opens the box, thinking, whew,
whoever
back up. I've got food for the kids.
That's awesome. Whoever took that, screw them. That's what you get. You probably thought, I'm going to eat well tonight, and then you open it up and it's a T-shirt.
Well, you're going to know who it
All
is
right.
if they come in walking in wearing that T-shirt.
Wow. Okay. Well.
Isn't that funny?
That's really fun. Why they could have told us that?
They didn't
just so
tell
you know,
us.
this isn't actual food.
And you may be thinking, couldn't you tell? For some reason, it kind of felt like toasted
It felt
ravioli.
like food?
It kind of moved around.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This isn't nice. A text message right here says 100% Andrew steals food. Talk about Andrew Stoles. Does he? That's why it's called Stoles.
I
Oh
he
my
stole
gosh. Yeah, he stole it.
Does he do that?
He seems like the type.
That's rude.
I don't know. Okay.
Anyway, we were
Well,
laughing.
a guy who intentionally drives slow in the fast lane
I think about
knows
that
what
a
he's
lot.
doing, and
Bothers
he does
me.
it on purpose.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the kind of person that would steal office food.
Okay. Now, anyway, I'm so glad that happened, and I'm glad that Frank had backup food for his kids. But I have to get to this story because it would be criminal if you and I didn't talk about this. It has made national and international news, as you heard at the top of the hour. A Missouri judge, specifically a St. Charles County judge, lost his job for, quote, routinely wearing Elvis wigs on the bench and playing Elvis music during court hearings. Okay, so here's the thing. This is I'm reading the New York Post story because God bless the New York Post. I love the way they write. It feels very tabloidy. At any rate, so a Missouri judge lost his job for repeatedly making irrelevant Elvis Presley references during hearings, playing his music at swearings-in, and even wearing an Elvis wig, along with other bizarre behavior on the bench, according to court papers. St. Charles County Circuit Judge Matthew Thornhill resigned last week after a disciplinary committee found that he, quote, routinely sported the Elvis-style pompadour wig and aviator sunglasses along with his robe while making rulings about Halloween season, the court documents said. The Judge Thornhill also allegedly had a strange Elvis-centric swearing-in process. Don't know what that means, but somehow he would do it. One option for the swearing-in process involved him playing Elvis Presley music from his phone. He would refer to Elvis Presley during court proceedings, such as referring to Elvis Presley's date of birth or death when such statements were irrelevant to the proceedings before the court. At any rate, the Missouri Commission on Retirement Removal and Discipline found that the judge failed to maintain order and decorum in the courtroom.
All right. Well, I feel like we're being a bunch of little Matt Pajeskis running around here being sticklers for the rule of law. Listen, if you have your choice between an activist judge, a rogue judge, or an Elvis judge, what would you rather have? The answer is Elvis judge, because this man's just trying to have fun. And by the way, the charge against him is that he was wearing the Presley wig, quote, on or about October 31st. It was a Halloween costume.
Well,
He's just having a little fun in the courtroom.
I'm not sure because
Sentencing
this says
people to life?
routinely, because he was asked about his Elvis shtick, and Thornhill said the wig and music were meant to, quote, add levity and relax the litigants.
That's what I'm
But
saying.
now he realizes it disturbed the serious nature of the court proceedings. What if you had a guy dressed as Elvis?
Well, I'm just going by the
Sending you
report.
to prison.
The Missouri Commission on Retirement, Removal, and Discipline of Judges. That report says that he was wearing it on or about October 31st. It's a Halloween costume. Let the man have a little fun,
Well-
especially when you're sentencing people to death. Is that what he was doing?
I don't think the St. Charles Circuit
He's not sentencing
Court
people to death.
is sentencing people to death. No, but now Thornhill is saying that the whole investigation was tainted because, I don't know, the prosecutor, another judge, they were friends. At any rate, he said that at one point, he was asked, the guy who's like prosecutor brought this matter to the court's attention. He walked into Thornhill's office and said, "Can you put your Elvis costume back on?" And then he took the picture and then he released that picture.
That's entrapment.
But he also
That's saying, "Here, hold this gun."
But Thornhill did not address why there were also pictures of him wearing the wig and the glasses behind the bench, because this was not the only picture. But this guy did go into his office and say, "Hey, put on the outfit," and took the picture. And he's the guy that brought the attention.
This guy
brought
can
the matter
be,
to
look,
the attention of the court.
When I'm in trouble, this guy can be on my bench any day. That is the kind of judge that I want to be sentenced by.
Well, he wears a bow tie a lot. I can see that picture of him in a colorful bow tie. I think he does want to add levity.
I like the guy. Give him another chance. Come on, St. Charles. Quit being so stuffy.
I don't know.
This poor judge.
Yeah, but what if, I feel like if you got in trouble for something menial, just trivial, you would be mad if the judge looked like Elvis.
Why would I be mad? I would be mad by being in court. I'd probably forget that I was in trouble if I saw the Elvis wig.
So as soon as I said what I just said about you being mad, I realized I was wrong. I think you're right. I think you would actually say it's worth going to jail.
Yeah. Yeah. I would probably think,
you're a bad example.
What kind of infraction can I commit so that I can get in front of this judge just for the experience? And like the least infraction, because I don't want to pay a ton of money.
Mm-hmm.
And I'd prefer not to spend any time in jail. I wouldn't do well there. So whatever I could do to get in front of this guy. So the bottom line is he'll get to come back or not.
Well, I think they're still deciding, because now he's
6-month unpaid suspension.
Yeah. That the issue. We need to get the update on this, because like we said, initially he was going to step down, but then he said, no, this is tainted. The guy asked me to put on the outfit. But here's my point. If someone ever asks you to take off the clothes you're wearing and put on different clothes, don't do it. It never works out. It didn't work out when Greitens asked the hairdresser to do it, and it didn't work out when this judge was asked to put his Elvis outfit back on.
Can you imagine how much fun the court proceedings would be if Sheriff Alfred Montgomery was in front of this judge? If this was the judge on the Sheriff Montgomery case?
So you do make an excellent point. And I would love to keep an eye on that proceeding, because yes, if the Elvis judge was the one deciding the case on Sheriff Alfred Montgomery, it'd be a ton of fun.
And by the way, please, the text line is there for you at 314-436-7900. Stop making Jailhouse Rock jokes.
Yeah.
They've been done.
Listen.
Be better.
And also,
Be
if
better.
someone says, "Hey, put this on," don't do it. It doesn't work out.
Exactly. Well,
it doesn't work out for the whole Greitens situation. It doesn't work out for the judge situation.
what about Valentine's Day? Oh, hey, come on, man. I'm talking like that.
And that would be fine, except I don't
Gross.
think it was appropriate for you to ask Matt that.
Hey, buddy.
Answer's no.
Oh, grow up. Have a little fun. It's almost Thanksgiving.
It's Skanksgiving.
Or Blackout Wednesday. Let us know if you use Blackout Wednesday and then tell us your age. 314-436-7900. But when we come back, Major Garrett's chief Washington correspondent for CBS News is next.
This Thanksgiving, KMOX has your holiday sports feast. It all starts on KMOX 104.1 FM at 2 o'clock with full game coverage of the Kansas City Chiefs. Then keep the action rolling as the St. Louis Billikens tip off their holiday matchup. Pre-game starts at 5:45 on KMOX 1120 AM. When Chiefs coverage wraps up, KMOX FM will join Billikens basketball already in progress. A Thanksgiving doubleheader, Chiefs and Billikens, only on America's Sports Voice, KMOX.
A KFC tale in the pursuit of flavor. The holidays were tricky for the Colonel. He loved people, but he also loved peace and quiet. So he cooked up KFC's $4.99 chicken pot pie. Warm, flaky, with savory sauce and vegetables. It's a tender chicken-filled excuse to get some time to yourself and step away from decking the halls, whatever that means. The Colonel lived so we could chicken. KFC's Chicken Pot Pie, the best $4.99 you'll spend this season.
Prices and participation may vary while supplies last. Taxes, tips, and fees extra.
Selling your home, it's one of the biggest financial decisions you'll ever make. You could go it alone, trying to navigate market trends, determine fair pricing, and tackle tricky negotiations on your own. You could second-guess every decision, wondering if you're doing it right. Then there's the showings, the offers, and the mountain of paperwork. Or you could work with the expertise of a Realtor, here to guide and help protect as you make your next big move. Realtors are members of the National Association of Realtors. Right by you.
Thank you, St. Louis, for making Genesis of St. Charles the #1 Genesis dealer in Missouri for 2025. We know your time is valuable. That's why every purchase comes with 3 years of complimentary Genesis service valet. Unlock your e-price and save. That means complimentary vehicle pickup and delivery, plus a loaner vehicle at no additional cost. Or want something new? We'll bring the test drive to you. Visit genesisofstcharles.com during the Genesis Signature Event. Based on GMA sales records for 2024. See dealer for details.
Discover the life you want at Fairwinds River's Edge in St. Charles. We deliver a life-enhancing environment that nourishes the mind, body, and spirit as residents lean into joy and embrace purpose in a new age of senior living. Simply put, we have your back so you can put your best foot forward. Join us Wednesday, December 3rd for our holiday craft fair, followed by happy hour with BB Boomers. Visit Fairwinds River's Edge on Facebook to learn more.
Now, KMOX weather from the Saliga Heating and Cooling Weather Desk.
Mostly cloudy, 39 degrees. The high today will be 45. Should be dry for your holiday travel. Sponsored by the Woodlands of Arnold Senior Living.
The Woodlands of Arnold campus offers skilled rehab, a beautiful assisted living community, and a secure memory care to keep your loved ones safe. Check us out at rspseniorliving.com. That's rspseniorliving.com.
Hey guys, Glover here for my friends at Cantor Injury Law. So as you know, I'm a lawyer, haven't practiced in a long time, but I did plaintiff's work and defense work, so I have a pretty good understanding of it. I have a pretty good idea of who's who in the firmament of plaintiffs' attorneys. And for my money, Mark Cantor is the guy. He's a great attorney. He is a great practitioner. He's put together a great team. He was born and raised here. He lives here. He works here. He wins here. Call 314-628-ALL-9s or CantorInjuryLaw.com. The choice of a lawyer is an important decision and should not be based on advertising.
It's time for a $98 furnace tune-up.
Bonus bets for every point scored in the Chiefs-Cowboys game. So, for example, if the final score is 24-21, you would get $45 in bonus bets. And it doesn't matter if you've already signed up for FanDuel or if you've just been sitting back and waiting for the right moment to join. All you have to do is go to FanDuel.com/Missouri to get in on the action. And remember, the FanDuel Sportsbook app is coming to Missouri as of December 1st. So FanDuel.com/Missouri to score bonus bets for every single point in the Chiefs-Cowboys game. Enjoy a football feast with points giving on FanDuel, coming soon to Missouri.
Football Feast Thursday as the Chiefs face the Cowboys.
Sightman Cancer Center game time 2 p.m. Sightman Cancer Center, national leaders in cancer.
The Chiefs, the Cowboys, on your home for Chiefs football. 104.1 FM KMOX. It's Major News with Major Garrett, our weekly conversation with CBS's chief Washington correspondent.
Chris and Amy show on 104.1 FM KMOX. Time to go to the guest line. Normally we talk to this man on Thursdays, but because tomorrow is the holiday, we are giving him a break. And
are we?
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, he's just doing this all out of the kindness of his heart, but we're still giving him a break. He is the chief Washington correspondent for CBS News, host of the Takeout podcast on CBS News 24/7. You can watch and listen to that. Major Garrett is with us on KMOX. Good morning, Major.
Good morning. Great to be with you.
It is good to be with you as well. And as we get close to this holiday, there's you would think that things might slow down a little bit, but it doesn't really seem to happen getting close to the holiday. And one of the big stories that we have been following over the last several days are, those members of Congress, people who are former military, like Mark Kelly, who is a senator in Arizona, now drawing the ire of the administration for that video they recorded, which was just, suggesting to service members to not follow illegal orders. And a lot has come out of that. So what's coming next?
Well, yes, there are investigations, and those investigations reflect, as you mentioned, the ire of the administration. But the FBI has scarce little jurisdiction here because there is nothing in the federal statute that cover seditious behavior. Nothing. There is no federal statute for that. If you are going to be a seditionist, you have to use something prolonged and of a violent nature to overthrow the government. Recording a video doesn't meet that standard, not by a country mile. So, yes, the FBI is investigating, but it has no federal code on which to build a case because there isn't any. These are members of Congress. So there's a First Amendment issue. Every American has that, number one, for a video, for any commentary about anything going on in American life. Number two, as members of Congress, they have protection under the speech and debate clause in the Constitution. So there is nothing here to prosecute. There just isn't. And they're not acting as traitors. They didn't say, if you receive a legal order, defy it, and then use your military means to overthrow the government. They didn't say anything of that kind. They said this is their opinion. I'm not validating their opinion one way or another. What they said in the video is there are things going on that concern us and concern the centrality of our Constitution. We served. We know the code. We know the constitutional oath we took when we entered either the intelligence services or the military services. And we're reminding you, you have not only the right, but the obligation to defy and ignore an illegal order. An illegal order could be something like committing a felony, killing innocents. Those two would definitely qualify, unambiguously qualify. And right now, within the Pentagon and within the Justice Department, there is a very intense debate going on about the legality of military strikes against alleged suspected drug boats with civilians on them. The civilians die, the boats are destroyed, there is no evidence anymore, and nobody knows what it was in the first place, except the administration continues to represent that it knew all it needed to know. Well, the head of Southcom, the area of operation for these missions, has left. He resigned under pressure because he wasn't sure these operations were legal. So it's not as if this is an abstraction, like this is just coming out of nowhere. Where did these lawmakers get this idea? And the administration, if it believes what it says, all its orders are legal, ought to have nothing to worry about. Why would you even be concerned about this video? If all your orders are legal, why would you even be worried about this? Why would you say this is worthy of not only a federal investigation, but some sort of prosecution and some sort of penalty up to and including death? Why would you do that if, in fact, what you believe is true? Every order you give is legal. So this thing is going round and round, but when people hear investigation, just realize there's nothing for the FBI to do. There's no criminal statute to prosecute under. And under military, Article 92 of the Uniform Code of Military Justice, it says plainly, orders are presumed to be legal, but if you believe them to be illegal, you have the right and the obligation to defy them. That's what the Article 92 says. There's several other articles I could cite, but that's the main one. And nothing the video said violates that article. It actually attempts to reinforce that article.
Major, when it comes to the lawfulness or unlawfulness of those strikes on the boats that you mentioned, who would look into the lawfulness or constitutionality of that action, and who would hold the president or the government accountable if they found those things to be unlawful?
Good question. Judge Advocates General, JAGs, and many have been at the senior level in the military branches, been all replaced, all sacked, either forced into retirement or just fired, or run out by Pete Hegseth, the Secretary of Defense. That's what Congress calls it. That's what the statute calls it. He calls it the Department of War, whatever. So there has been a dismantling of the senior legal advisor corps within all the branches of the services. That's point one. Point two, many of the people of the Justice Department have been run out or redirected who might have an opinion on this. And the Justice Department has put together a kind of, and this is the analysis of legal experts, not me, somewhat flimsy justifications for this. But all you need to know about how comfortable stout and, let us say, not mousy allies of the United States, the Australians, the French, the British, how uneasy they are with this is they've begun to pull back. They're like, we're not really going to be a part of this intelligence sharing operation. We're not really going to be read in on this. We don't want any of our fingerprints on any of this because we are not sure this is legal. And the death toll is in the mid-80s now of people on these boats blown out of the water by the United States military. The administration says over and over again they were all carrying drugs. Historically, those boats, first of all, were not blown out of the water some 2,000 nautical miles from the United States, which all these boats have been. They're a long way away. Historically, we wait for them to get much closer, and then we interdict them. And then we try them criminally. That's the way we've handled this before. It's never been carried out to this level of military combat because they're now designated terrorist organizations, and so we're amping this up. This is a very 9/11 type strategy in combating drug shipments, if in fact they are drug shipments. But with all the evidence at the bottom of the sea, nobody really knows.
Real quick, did you say all of the JAGs in each department of the military were
at the senior level? At the senior level, yeah, that happened. That happened very soon after Pete Hegseth was sworn in as Secretary of Defense.
How many people is that?
I don't know the exact number,
okay.
But it's a fair number. And I had a retired Rear Admiral on my program, Mark Crawford, last week, and go back to the Takeout archives, and he went through this process with me, chapter and verse, about how the ranks of those who are in senior-most positions to evaluate not only the Geneva Convention, international waters law, and U.S. constitutional law as it regards to all this, how many of them have been removed at the senior level.
Wow.
What do you make of Marjorie Taylor Greene's decision to leave Congress and that entire situation?
I will tell you, it surprised me on Friday when it happened, when it was announced. I knew this thing was coming to a head, and there is clearly something going on within the conversation of what MAGA is and what it is meant to be and what its aspirations are. And I think Marjorie Taylor Greene is representative of a faction, and it may be a large faction, it may be a small one. I can't quite tell. It's very small in the sense of her visibility, but she may be speaking for others in ways that they would like to have the courage to speak on their own behalf, but haven't quite got there. And she's driving at a couple of things. That the priorities are much more big tech, they're big corporate, they're big finance, and that might not include benefits that accrue or trickle down to constituents in her 14th district in Georgia. And that's becoming troublesome to her, that MAGA is looking less and less familiar to her in terms of where it is placing its energy and where the outcomes are. And that, to me, is a potential, I emphasize the word potential warning sign, that if those who were, let us just say, passionate foot soldiers on behalf of President Trump when he was in exile, and the MAGA movement when it was trying to regain power, and then having regained power, seeing what that power has taken on and prioritized, and then walking back from it and saying, wait a minute, that's not what this was about. I think that's a potential warning sign. The president obviously feels he can live without Marjorie Taylor Greene, and he probably can. But if she's not alone, if she's actually saying things that in the cloakroom of the House Republican Conference or in coffee shops, not just in Georgia and rural Georgia, but other parts of America, people are saying, wait a minute, are we being left out of this? Is this getting to be something that's much more about President Trump and those closest to him and all these larger technological and economic forces that aren't globalist, but they're certainly high tech and they're dislodging just the same? Maybe they have a different name, but I don't feel comfortable with them. My standard of living hasn't dramatically improved. My cost of groceries haven't dramatically improved. My utility bills certainly haven't. Where's all this going? I think it's a potential warning sign.
Yeah, as one political commentator put it, Marjorie Taylor Greene wasn't in on the joke. She was genuine about whatever it was that she believed, and is finding out that it was not about principles, but it was about a person, specifically the whims and impulses of one person, the president. And so if you were someone who followed Trump, believing he was acting on a fixed set of principles, it was a rude awakening.
Very well, maybe. And she hasn't used exactly those words, but she's come pretty close. And that's certainly the way it feels and the way it looks. And the one thing I would say about Marjorie Taylor Greene is now she takes slings and arrows from her own side. She took slings and arrows relentlessly from the left, mocked, criticized, threatened. Now she's mocked, criticized, and threatened on the right. I mean, whatever you believe of her political skills or her own set of core principles, she can say, I've been in the arena and I've taken it from all sides. I have a 360 perspective on the ravages, rhetorically and otherwise, of modern American politics.
Where does this Russia-Ukraine peace deal stand now?
There's a flurry of activity, but I don't think the fundamentals have changed. The fundamentals are this. When the United States and Ukraine talk together with their European allies, they can come up with a plan. But that plan is unacceptable to the Russians. When the United States talks to the Russians, they can come up with a plan. That plan is unacceptable to the Ukrainians and the Europeans. That has been a fundamental truth since President Trump was sworn back in for a second term. He has tried to find ways around that fundamental difference of opinion that really reflects the need for Ukraine to retain security, sovereignty, and its own sense of identity as a democracy and someone aligned more with Europe than with Moscow. Moscow wants to take over all of Ukraine. It can't do that. Its dead and casualty numbers exceed 1 million. It has obtained a fraction of its territorial goals in Ukraine, but still is more than willing to fight on. And the Ukrainians are willing to fight on. Can they figure out a way to narrow these differences? Again, that's what this flurry of activity has been all about. But the flurry in the last 48 hours has been getting the United States, Ukraine, and the Europeans more tightly aligned. The Russians have been silent. When they're silent, that means they're playing for time. And when they're playing for time, that means they disagree and they're going to keep the war going. So lots of activity. Fundamentals seem pretty constant.
Major, is it a big deal at all, just as we say goodbye here, that there is that leaked Witkoff call that Steve Witkoff was telling the Kremlin, this is how you can get on Trump's good side. It helps if you praise and compliment him.
So it is a complicating factor because there are those who have long worried about Witkoff's prior standing in business relationships in Russia and maybe his general favoritism and orientation in that direction. He is not what you would call a tough interlocutor with Vladimir Putin. He just isn't. And this plan, this 28-point plan, might as well have been drafted entirely by, and might well have been entirely drafted by, with slight revisions by Witkoff in the United States to set this in motion with the Ukrainians. That's how it certainly was interpreted in Kyiv and in all the European capitals. Like, this is a Russian document. They're leaking it. They're running the traps on this. This is not something that anyone can agree to other than Moscow. And Witkoff is the one through whom that flowed. When did things change? When the National Security Advisor and the Secretary of State, he has both roles, Marco Rubio, stepped in. And Marco Rubio re-engineered almost all the terms of that agreement. Now, you have to ask yourself, was Marco Rubio freelancing? Did he not have the authority of the president? He probably did. So it's Rubio against Witkoff, and in between that, and then you have Dan Driscoll, the Secretary of the Army, who's now a key player. Interestingly, Pete Hegseth has no role in this whatsoever. Zero. He is as far away from the action on this conversation as anyone could be in the Trump administration, which I think is interesting.
Major Garrett.
You have to figure out what the president really wants, and no one has figured that out. What is his bottom line? How tough will he be with Russia? And is Witkoff anywhere near capable of carrying with credibility across the table from Putin any kind of tough message? Or does he have to be sidelined and the president or Rubio take on that obligation?
Major, may you have all the pumpkin pie you want tomorrow. We appreciate you. Thank you.
Thanks so much. Have a great Thanksgiving, everyone. See you.
That is Major Garrett, Chief Washington Correspondent for CBS News. Watch and listen to his podcast, his show. It's called The Takeout on CBS News 24/7. It's Chris and Amy on KMOX.
Overhead Door Company of St. Louis, the genuine, the original, present 100 years of KMOX.
1965 was a year of progress in St. Louis.
There when St. Louis celebrated.
It would stand higher than any monument in the land.
What's that? Alarm whistle. I don't know. Steamboats, I guess, celebrate.
Finally, 32 years after Luther Ely Smith began forming an image of a revitalized St. Louis riverfront, the Gateway Arch was complete.
And atop the final section, a big American flag blowing freely in a brisk wind.
It represents a very important part of our national history.
It's a new era for St. Louis, and millions of people will be coming to view this engineering and architectural wonder.
There for every headline, every heartbreak, every heartbeat. KMOX, the voice of St. Louis. Brought to you by Together Credit Union. Competitive rates to help you save more and borrow smarter. Visit togethercu.org.
Want to build income without a second job? Learn how real estate investing can help you create extra income one step at a time with Lifestyles Unlimited. Text radio to 88007. That's RADIO to 88007. Presented by Lifestyles Unlimited.
For 100 years, KMOX has been part of St. Louis. Now, Together Credit Union is helping celebrate that legacy. Starting in November, visit any Together Credit Union branch to pick up a KMOX 100th anniversary commemorative ornament for just $5 while supplies last. Each ornament supports Children's Miracle Network of Greater St. Louis. Together Credit Union, honoring 100 years of KMOX, the voice of St. Louis, and Children's Miracle Network of Greater St. Louis, improving the health of all children.
Welcome to Coffee House. How are you today?
Hi, great, thanks. May I get a sea salt caramel latte with almond milk, extra caramel, extra shot, iced,
Gross.
and to go, please. Did you get all that?
No, I was just ringing you up for all the extras. Can you repeat your order, please?
Oh, never mind. I'm just going to go.
Stop paying extra for extras. Get fancy coffee without the fancy coffee price at Quick Trip. Raise your coffee bar.
Actual price will depend on product and subscription plan. Featured products are compounded drug products, which the FDA does not approve or verify for safety, effectiveness, or quality. Prescription products require an online consultation with a healthcare provider who will determine if appropriate. See website for details, restrictions, and important safety information.
Want a boost in and out of the bedroom? Hims has you covered. Introducing a new 2-in-1 approach to level up your game. Tadalafil for better bedroom performance and zinc for testosterone support. Put it all together and you've got what you need to turn things all the way up. Getting started is simple. Just go to hims.com/joy to start your free online visit. Through Hims, you can access ED treatments, including pills, chews, and more. 100% online. No office visits, no pharmacy lines. Just fill out a simple intake form and a licensed medical provider will determine if treatment's right for you. If prescribed, it ships free and discreetly to your door. Find affordable treatment options at up to 95% less than brand names at hims.com/joy. That's hims.com/joy, HIMS.com/JOY.
This holiday season, the Dave Glover Show is excited to partner with Hardee's and Operation Food Search for the Holiday Food Drive. While supplies last, stop by any metro area Hardee's and make a donation of at least $1 to benefit Operation Food Search and receive a limited edition DGS holiday sticker. All donations will benefit Operation Food Search to help children and families facing food insecurities. Get all the details about the campaign or to make an online donation, head to KMOX.com/events.
Join in the festivities as the St. Louis Symphony Orchestra presents Beethoven's Seventh, Energy and Reverie. Sparks of energy will fly across Powell Hall in this spirited Thanksgiving weekend event featuring one of Beethoven's personal favorites, his blazing, boisterous Seventh Symphony. Pianist Joyce Yang joins to give her interpretation of Rachmaninoff's Rhapsody on a theme of Paganini, November 29th and 30th. Tickets at slso.org.
Let Banner Construction show you what a difference James Hardy can make to your home. Banner's exterior design team will show you custom design options to transform your home into the neighborhood showplace. Banner is a preferred James Hardy and Pella Windows specialist. With winter just around the corner, now is the time to think about Pella Windows for energy efficiency and comfort. Call Banner Construction 314-569-1050 to schedule your free in-home consultation, or the website bannerconstruction.com, and have a banner day.
The Chris and Amy Show on 104.1 FM KMOX and the free Odyssey app. Now, did you see this? With Chris and Amy.
It's more of a will you see this? And that is the Thanksgiving matchup, but with the Kansas City Chiefs. That game, I believe, starts at 3:30. So it's the Chiefs and Cowboys. It could set a record as the most viewership for a regular season game, because last year the Cowboys and the Giants averaged 38.8 million viewers, which was the biggest figure for a regular season game. That was more than the average of 17.5 million. And this year they're expecting, because of the time slot and because of the teams, they think it could be well over 42 million, which would be the record.
And because it is such a big game for Kansas City.
Right. That's they lay out a whole reasons why it could be.
I mean, they got to win. They can't afford a whole lot of losses here, man.
Yeah.
Moving forward, which is crazy.
So,
I can't believe they're in that position.
42.1 million for Giants Cowboys in 2022 is the record, and they're pretty sure this is going to break that. So that's insane.
It's I mean,
so many people.
It really is. But the NFL, man, it just dominates everything. It dominates everything. It's such a juggernaut. I don't know if there's ever going to be a time where it gets overtaken by something.
Yeah.
Everybody watches.
I will say this. Football in St. Louis, doubles what baseball Cardinals do as far as TV. That's
NFL
how big
ratings,
football is.
We've
NFL.
talked about this before, but NFL ratings in St. Louis still do very, very well.
Yeah.
It's crazy. Macaulay Culkin has changed his name. Did you see this, Amy?
No.
So he did a fan-voted poll back in 2018 for his new middle name. And so his new name, because he let fans vote on it, his new name is Macaulay Culkin.
I did.
You saw this?
I forgot that was one of the options.
Yep. So that's the one that won, and he has legally changed his name
to Macaulay Culkin.
Yeah. He explained recently that he has done this because I guess he did it back in 2019, but now it is apparently on his passport.
It's real Bodie McBoatface vibes.
That's right. I remember that. Crazy stuff. Hey, you know what we should do? You and I should get a house and then get a 55-year mortgage. Can you imagine?
I don't know which part of that is the most offensive.
Well, Pajeski's in it too. We're not inviting Frank. All three of us. We're going to be in the house together, and we're going to get a 50-year mortgage. I'll die way before I got to pay it off, so it'll be on YouTube.
And most likely not of natural causes.
That's right, and
from murder.
Actually, if we're being honest, Matt will probably be the one that has to pay it off because we're both going to die. You'll die in a year.
Yeah.
I'll die in 3 or 4. and then it'll all be Matt Pajeski's problem for 50 years.
Unbelievable.
Well, let's talk to Todd Krentz, president of Krentz Financial Group. We will find out if a 50-year mortgage is even a good idea in the first place. That and more next on KMOX.
A coffee a day can keep AFib away. Atrial fibrillation is a common heart rhythm disorder that causes a rapid irregular heartbeat. Doctors typically recommend that people with heart issues avoid caffeine out of fear it will trigger symptoms. But a new randomized clinical trial concludes that drinking a cup of caffeinated coffee a day reduces AFib by 39%. Consult your doctor for specific health needs. I'm Margie Schaefer.
Are you tired of online threats? Then get an antivirus. It's the only online protection you will ever need.
Disclaimer: an antivirus is just half protection online. It will not protect you from snoopers or encrypt your online traffic. So this Black Friday, get better online protection with NordVPN. NordVPN will encrypt your traffic, protect you from malware and phishing, and stop annoying ads. Get the NordVPN Black Friday deal with 73% off and enjoy 3 extra months.
Ex-wives and your current trophy wife wants a life insurance policy 3 times the size of the policies you had to purchase for your previous mistakes? If so, you need to call Big Lou at Term Provider, 800-700-6898. Big Lou is intimately familiar with your problems, and if you're 50 or 60 years old and in reasonably good health, a $1 million policy should only cost about $100 to $200 per month. Big Lou may have a solution for your previous policies as well. You may even save enough money to lighten the load on your new $1 million policy. Remember, call Big Lou. He's like you, except he's only on number 2. Call Term Provider at 800-700-6898. That's 800-700-6898 for $1 million in term life insurance that you can live with. Call Big Lou at 800-700-6898. 800-700-6898.
Celebrating 100 years of informing and entertaining. KMOX AM St. Louis. KMOX FM Hazelwood. The voice of St. Louis.
You're listening to Leaf Filter Radio, and the guru of gutter protection himself, Chris Cunahan, is here to take your most pressing leaf-related questions and bring you a special Black Friday offer.
Hey, everybody, Chris here. I understand we have Ron on the line. Ron, where are you calling from? Uh-oh. Ron, are you calling from a ladder?
Well, I was. I wanted to ask Chris what I need to do to get my gutters ready to have Leaf Filter installed.
Oh, Ron, you don't have to do anything. A Leaf Filter Trusted Pro will come out and clean out your gutters, realign and seal your gutters, and install Leaf Filter, America's #1 gutter protection system.
So I didn't need to get on this ladder?
Ron, Leaf Filter Trusted Pros are in your neighborhood and ready to help. Just visit leaffilter.com/deal to schedule your free gutter inspection and get up to 30% off.
Thank goodness. What was that site?
That's leaffilter.com/deal. And now, as a special Black Friday offer, you can get a free gutter inspection, plus up to 35% off. This is our best offer of the season. Unlock it now at leaffilter.com/deal. See representative for warranty details.
It is 10:01, and we've got a sunny day through the clouds and windy conditions as well. It's 39 degrees. I'm Debbie Monterey. A day after the Pentagon announced it is investigating Arizona Senator Mark Kelly over potential violations of military law, the other Democrats who appeared with Kelly in a video have confirmed they've been contacted by the FBI. The 6 urged military members not to carry out illegal orders. President Trump called the 6 Democrats seditious, and seditious behavior is punishable by death. His administration has said it may recall Senator Kelly to active Navy duty in order to prosecute him under military law. The Missouri State Highway Patrol gearing up for one of the busiest travel weekends of the year, and with it, a rise in impaired driving. Lieutenant Eric Brown says to keep roads safe, extra troopers will be out during the Thanksgiving holiday period. Wednesday before Thanksgiving is actually one of the busiest bar nights of the year. You know, we have a lot of extra vehicles on the road. People are going to be using substances that impair their ability to drive and going to be on those roadways. So we focus a lot of our efforts in those nighttime hours when that occurs the most. Tonight is known as Drinksgiving or Blackout Wednesday. Guns and Hoses is tonight at Enterprise Center every Thanksgiving Eve. Policemen enter the ring against firemen to raise money for Backstoppers. $1 million has been raised each of the last 4 years to support the families of fallen first responders. KMOX's Stuart McMillan spoke with KEZK's Julie Tristan, who will be ringside for the fight.
It's police versus firemen, and I have an idea what side you're on.
Well, listen, don't get me in trouble. I am impartial now. I'm the ringside reporter, so I interviewed the winning fighter, whether they're team red or team blue. And so I am impartial as I can be.
Okay. Your husband's a firefighter. Full disclosure.
My husband is a firefighter in Maryland Heights, yes. So, I mean, I do lean towards team red. However, I am also voting for team blue.
That's very, very diplomatic of you. Very diplomatic.
Thank you very much.
Guns N' Hoses will air on 97.1 FM and Fox 2 tonight starting at 6:30. Tom Ackerman will also be part of that telecast. A business desk sponsored by Krenz Financial Group, KFGadvisors.com. Meal prep begins this afternoon at Ole Henry's restaurant in Berkeley. Staff and volunteers are making full Thanksgiving meals that will be delivered to families in need by volunteers from Calvary Bible Church of Florissant. This year, the meal outreach has been expanded to include Deer Valley Home Health to ensure homebound or vulnerable residents there get a nutritious turkey dinner. An animal rescue farm touting turkeys as something other than a meal.
The Gentle Barn, an animal rescue farm south of Murfreesboro, Tennessee, offers animal-based therapy sessions with turkeys, as well as horses, cows, sheep, and goats. People can cozy up to a turkey any time of the year at the sanctuary, which also has a location in Los Angeles. One woman who did it described the turkey as snuggly. With Thanksgiving coming up, founder Ellie Lax wants to change public perception about the big feathered birds. She says turkeys are extremely intelligent and talkative and can give you comfort and one-on-one attention. Jennifer Kuiper, CBS News.
Gentle Barn used to have a location in Jefferson County. They closed it last year. They opened there after several cows busted out of a North City slaughterhouse. And at Gentle Barn, they became therapy cows that you could hug.
Intervals of clouds and sun with a chilly, gusty wind this afternoon, high 45. Partly cloudy and cold tonight with less wind, low 29. For tomorrow, Thanksgiving Day, turning out mostly sunny, breezy, and quite chilly, the high 44. From the Saliga Heating and Cooling Weather Desk, I'm AccuWeather meteorologist Joe Lundberg on 104.1 FM KMOX.
It is, I'd call it partly sunny, windy for sure, 39 degrees in downtown St. Louis. I'm Debbie Monterey, KMOX News.
Sponsored by the Moolah Shrine Center Festival of Trees.
Hello, everyone. I want to invite you to the Moolah Festival of Trees. Come see over 40 of the best decorated trees you'll ever see. Adult tickets are only $2 and kids under 12 are free. November 22nd through the 29th at the Moolah Shrine Center.
The Chris and Amy Show is video streaming now on KMOX's YouTube, X, and Facebook pages. Click and subscribe.
It's hour 2 of 3 of the Chris and Amy Show, 104.1 FM KMOX. Man, it's good to have you along with us as you are potentially traveling, going somewhere else for Thanksgiving. It's a big travel day today. We hope you're doing so safely. Maybe you're listening on the Odyssey app. Don't be looking at your phone. Whatever it is, don't look at your phone. We can tell you that bad things happen when you do. Time to go to the guest line. Well, they can happen. Yeah. Or you can get away with it. But I'd suggest not getting away with it. Yeah. Todd Krenz, the president of Krenz Financial Group, is with us this morning as we have heard a lot of discussion in the last few weeks about a 50-year mortgage plan, which is Donald Trump's idea. And we've been...
I don't think he came up with it.
Well, I mean, he's promoting it.
Came up with it, yeah.
Yeah, he is promoting this idea for prospective home buyers. And to talk more about that, Todd Krenz is with us. How's it going, Todd?
Going great. How are you guys doing?
We're doing okay. We hope you're doing well.
So if I get this 50-year mortgage, Todd, I could say she died doing what she loved, paying money that she owed other
forever
people.
And ever and ever.
Doing what she loved, making her mortgage payment.
So, I mean, we've looked at some of the numbers that a 30-year mortgage versus a 50-year, that over the life of the loan, it's going to be an extraordinary amount of money, more that you have to end up paying. So just generally speaking, your thoughts on a 50-year mortgage?
Well, it's a great topic, and I know the administration floated the idea out to try to improve housing affordability in the world we live in today with higher home prices and higher mortgage rates. But it's not just as simple as reducing your mortgage payment per month and paying it over a longer period of time. I looked at the cost, and when you look at the median home price in our country, it's a little over $400,000. But I just ran numbers on a $400,000 mortgage with a 6.25% interest rate. And when you compare the mortgage payment on a 30-year versus 50-year, the mortgage payment will drop around 12%. So there is savings on a monthly basis, but you're extending your financing for an extra 20 years. And the thing that investors and homeowners need to realize is that their interest expenses will go up by over 85% if they extend their mortgage over 50 years. So I know Trump was quoted as you pay less per month and you pay it over a longer period of time. And my sarcastic reaction to that was, that's cute, but it's not the only thing you need to keep in mind, that the cost of capital over a 50-year period is quite expensive. So I think it's nice that there's another tool in the toolbox when you're considering financing a home. But there's a lot of other things that I think homeowners will need to focus on when they consider the financing term.
Yeah, and also a lot of people, when they're moving, aren't moving into a home for 50 years. I mean, it's just okay. You're never going to own that home. I understand 30 years is a long time, but 50 is taking it to that next level. And you brought up the median price of a home in the U.S. and you go to a city like San Francisco, where the median price is $1.3 million, and you end up paying $2.3 million in interest over the course of a 50-year mortgage. That's somewhat shocking.
It is. And I read a comment from Jeremy Siegel over the last week. He's a senior economist at Wisdom Tree. He's a professor emeritus at Wharton School of Business. And he was quoted, I'll just read it to you. Exotic proposals like the 50-year mortgages offer little relief, only about a 12% payment reduction compared to a 30-year, while leaving 3/4 of the principal unpaid after 3 decades. Housing relief will not come from financial engineering. It's going to require more land, more building, and fewer restrictions. So I like the idea. Again, I like the idea of having another tool in the toolbox. But Amy, you bring up a good point. If someone's not going to be in a home for 30 or 50 years, there probably are other mortgage products that might be more suitable for them if they're only going to be there for 5 to 10 years. So it's something to think about, and definitely have a good relationship with your lender and your financial advisor when you go through these options.
So would you say that it is not just out of hand a bad idea for everyone, that maybe in some cases it does actually work?
I think in some cases it could work. I think about people that have, and this gets back to the dual consumer or the bifurcated consumer. If people earn a lot of money throughout the year, but their income is sporadic, if they could consider a 50-year mortgage and fall back on lower monthly mortgage payments on a month-to-month basis, but if they get a big commission every 6 months, for example, they could pay a substantial amount towards their principal, and with the goal of paying this off well sooner than a 50-year timeline. So there are smart ways to manage this, but I think for most people, trying to stick to the normal 30-year may end up being the most cost-effective versus trying to save a little bit today, 12% today, knowing it's going to cost you 85% more in interest by extending it 20 years.
How would, if someone came to you and said, hey, I would like that 50-year mortgage, but obviously that's not what you do, but saying that that's something they want for themselves, how would that potentially affect retirement planning and being on a fixed income decades down the road?
Well, if you can lower your mortgage payment and spread it out over a longer period of time, that could release or relieve a little pressure on your monthly liabilities throughout retirement. So it could be a slight positive. The mindset would also have to be that I may very well die with this mortgage, and when my estate settles and my family takes control of the estate, they're going to have to sell the home and get the net equity out of the property. And the equity build over time will take substantially longer to build equity than you'd see in a normal 15, 20, or 30-year mortgage.
Todd Krentz, the president of Krentz Financial Group, is with us on KMOX. Now, there's a message here we've got from a listener who says, if builders believe a longer mortgage will make houses more affordable, they'll just raise the sell price of the house. Is that what would end up happening, that it might be more affordable by concept, but in reality, it wouldn't necessarily be?
I think there's some truth to that. And I also think there's some truth that lenders might charge a higher rate for a 50-year mortgage than a 30-year, because they're collateralizing a property and taking risk for 50 years instead of 30. I think a lot of the point gets back to what Professor Siegel talked about, that it's not simply just a creative mortgage and creative financing. I think the supply issue throughout the country is a big deal. And if you make available a 50-year mortgage and home buyers are excited about a lower mortgage payment, they could spend more on a home. They could overextend themselves. And you're certainly correct. Unless supply increases, builders may end up charging more and charging a higher premium because they know that there's a lack of supply. So there are a lot of facets to this discussion that need to be addressed. And I think a lot of it gets back to the supply and demand issue. A 50-year mortgage could certainly stimulate demand. And without a ramp up in supply, we've got a bigger problem. We're not solving it. We're making it worse.
Well, if people listening think there's no way you could find a topic more exhilarating than 50-year mortgages, I found one. It's a CAPE ratio. Todd, we warned you that we would be asking you about this. I feel like the CAPE ratio would be higher in the Marvel universe than it is here.
Oh, come on, dude. Just ask your question.
But at any rate,
or I'm going to take a nap.
What is the CAPE? Can you, in a non-boring way, can you be entertaining, engaging, and delightful?
What do you want him to do? Put on clown shoes?
Well, I don't know. He doesn't need to do that. But the Wall Street Journal brought up the CAPE ratio, I realized I could either try to memorize the correct order of words to talk about the CAPE ratio, or I could just ask you what that is.
Well, thanks for setting me up. I appreciate that.
Good luck, Todd.
Yeah, Chris, if you're worried about going to sleep, just hang in there. I'll put you down in about 60 seconds here. Okay, so CAPE ratio. This is a ratio that Robert Shiller came up with decades ago. CAPE stands for Cyclically Adjusted Price to Earnings Ratio. And what it does is it takes the price of an index, the S&P 500 is most often the index that's used, and it divides it by the average inflation adjusted earnings of the constituents in the index over the last 10 years. So for everyone that's still awake, the goal is to smooth out short-term earnings volatility, smooth out business cycles, offering a long-term perspective on valuations in the market. So you with me so far?
No.
Yes.
Yes.
No and yes. Yes and no. Yes. Perfect. That's what I expected. I'll step back and ask the hypothetical question. What's this telling us today? Yes. And the CAPE ratio crossed 40 within the last couple of weeks. We've heard constantly on the financial news media that it's near its highest in history. At 40, this would suggest strong overvaluation in the market. I've heard some strategists over the last week or two say that the high CAPE ratio doesn't scream sell, but it whispers be cautious. And I think that statement's fair. I think investors with these higher ratios today should expect more modest long-term returns over the next decade and possibly see a little bit more volatility and elevated risk.
So what does that mean people should do then? And especially if you're an average investor and not one of these folks who's, got millions that they are putting into the market.
It's a great question. And I was thinking about that before the call today. And with this information, I think investors should step back and think about what they own in their portfolio. If they're heavy in the Mag 7 stocks and heavy in technology, the technology sector is certainly the most overvalued. I actually drilled down and looked at the CAPE ratio at all the different sectors in the market. And when investors look at their portfolio, if they're heavy in technology, they're heavy in consumer discretionary, they're heavy in communication services, those are the sectors that are the most overvalued very significantly. If you drill down to other parts of the market, though, and look at the defensive parts of the market, like consumer staples and healthcare, utilities, financials, they're a lot closer to their historical averages when you look at the CAPE ratio, and then energy and materials are only modestly above their historical norms. So it might cause people to step back and say, if I'm overweight in these really overpriced areas, maybe I need to rebalance a little bit. Maybe I need to lighten up on growth and tech and maybe add to some of the other parts of the market that aren't trading at higher premiums.
Would it be the worst idea, though, as we say goodbye here, to just hang on if you can withstand it? If it's not something where it's an immediate problem for you, that you could hang on for a few years?
I have no problem at all with that. I think the big thing for investors is know what you own and know the risk profile that comes with it. I think it's remarkable how the market's grown over the last decade. And I did look at the total combined market cap of the top 10 stocks in the S&P back in 2000. And the top 10 stocks back in 2000 had a combined market cap of $3 trillion. So just keep $3 trillion in mind and fast forward to today. The top 3 stocks in the S&P are NVIDIA. NVIDIA alone has a market cap of $4.3 trillion. So NVIDIA today is substantially bigger than the top 10 stocks at the peak of the tech bubble. Microsoft, $3.5 trillion. Apple, $4.1 trillion. These are remarkable companies. The technology is remarkable. Investors are asking a lot of good questions today. Is all this AI spend going to translate to higher profitability, higher margins, solid utilization? And only time's going to answer that. So, Chris, I think holding is certainly viable. Just know what you own and know the risk profile that's with it.
Todd Krentz, president of Krentz Financial Group. We appreciate you as always. Thank you.
Thank you both. Happy Thanksgiving.
Same to you, Todd. And we are all now smarter for having.
I feel way
I
smarter.
paid attention.
I think that's how I'm going to, that will be my contribution to the Thanksgiving dinner tomorrow.
Oh.
Cape ratio.
Oh, and you will put them to sleep.
Wouldn't be the first time.
It wouldn't be the turkey. It would be you this time. It's Chris and Amy on KMOX.
Woke radical liberals are screwing up this country, but Congressman Jason Smith is fighting back. He backed one big, beautiful tax cut for working families, ending Social Security taxes for nearly all seniors, and taxes on tips and overtime gone. So call Congressman Jason Smith at 202-225-4404 and thank him for backing working family tax cuts and putting America first. Paid for by American Prosperity Alliance.
You've got your whole life ahead of you, so choose a Medicare plan you can count on. And that's what you get with a Medicare Advantage plan from United Healthcare. With more than 45 years' experience serving its members, United Healthcare has plans with low monthly premiums that fit your life today and as your needs change tomorrow. The Medicare annual enrollment period ends December 7th, so go to uhc.com/Medicare today. United Healthcare Medicare plans. It's Medicare coverage Missouri can count on.
Just hearing the word IRS can make people break out in a cold sweat. No one wants to deal with the IRS, and now you don't have to. The good news is Legal Tax Defense has been successfully negotiating with the IRS for more than 15 years. It doesn't matter how much you owe, whether it's $5,000 or $5 million. You deserve the best in the business on your side, and that is Legal Tax Defense. Even if you're working with someone else and just want a second opinion, there is no cost or obligation to call. They can prevent levies, liens, wage garnishments, even file back tax returns. And the best news about Legal Tax Defense is they won't take your case unless they know they will reduce or eliminate your tax debt. Call Legal Tax Defense right now for a free no-risk consultation. 800-323-8922. 800-323-8922. You have nothing to lose but everything to gain. 800-323-8922.
250 years ago, a promise was made to connect families and friends near and far. And during the holidays, that promise is more important than ever. That's why USPS is building a better network to meet your needs with timely deliveries, easy and affordable ways to ship, and everything you need to make your season full of holiday cheer. Our purpose is delivering your peace of mind, knowing your love will arrive, bringing joy to all. The United States Postal Service. Learn more at USPS.com/holidays.
This is Kyle Bush with Krentz Financial Group. For over 6 decades, we've helped St. Louis families and businesses plan with purpose and live with confidence. Life changes, divorce, loss of a loved one, or an inheritance. It can be overwhelming. We provide the resources, long-standing support, and thoughtful guidance you need to plan ahead. With our help and experience, you don't have to navigate these transitions alone. You can move forward with greater clarity and confidence. Your goals, our mission. Start today at kfgadvisors.com.
Securities offered through Raymond James Financial Services. Member FINRA/SIPC. Prince Financial Group is not a broker-dealer.
Glover here for my friends at Cantor Injury Law. Cantor is local, and we're here doing the work every day. We're right here in St. Louis, and we're ready to fight for you. CantorInjuryLaw.com or call 314-628-9999.
The choice of a lawyer is an important decision and should not be solely based on advertisements.
Discover the life you want at Fairwinds River's Edge in St. Charles. We deliver a life-enhancing environment that nourishes the mind, body, and spirit as residents lean into joy and embrace purpose in a new age of senior living. Simply put, we have your back so you can put your best foot forward. Join us Wednesday, December 3rd for our holiday craft fair, followed by happy hour with BB Boomers. Visit Fairwinds River's Edge on Facebook to learn more.
Sponsored by Progressive. We make the claims process easy so you can get back on the road in no time. It's why over 43 million drivers trust Progressive. See for yourself at Progressive.com.
Hi, this is John Kelly. Congratulations from the Kelly family to KMOX Radio. 100 years strong as the voice of St. Louis.
Woke, radical, liberals are ruining our country!
Dude.
Sorry, I feel a little
That commercial is
assaulted every time it comes
Good
on.
Lord.
I just want to say it's if you love it or hate it, it's important to know it's not our show and it's
No.
not our station. You have to air, I don't know what the rule is. You have to air. We don't have any control to say no to political ads.
And it just, let me add this part too. If there was these crazy MAGA Republicans, like if we were doing all that, I don't think I'd like that either for a commercial spot.
I think you have to do
We're just sort of saying
both.
like, hey, you might like, yes,
At the
let's
same
balance it
time.
out a little bit.
the same commercial.
But let's just like we go
Yeah.
to break. It's like these woke radical liberals.
Yeah.
Whoa, calm down, brother.
And
We're okay
see,
here.
Robert says, I was learning about a 50-year mortgage, and then I woke up to Amy screaming about woke radical liberals. It's just so, you feel a little assaulted by it.
Yeah.
Because it's like, oh, it's the Chris and Amy show. We're talking about mac and cheese. Woke radical liberals.
Dude,
I'm sorry, do they have something to do with the mac and cheese?
I don't know, but that dude needs to calm the
I
hell
just
down.
want to clarify there's some separation. But like I said, love it or hate it, there's separation. We need a buffer. We need a buffer commercial that's pretty nondescript, even, quotidian, one might say. We could have a commercial for something, I don't know.
Give me some erectile dysfunction.
Well, something a little bit
Give me some
less ED.
why?
We used to have a lot of ED commercials.
I would much rather have some ED stuff.
Remember the 30, 60, 90 minutes. Remember
Well,
that?
No, I do not remember that.
That's what the commercial we used to
Oh.
have.
Well,
I do feel like that was a little bit less offensive.
I think we're probably not doing it because, as I've said before, I think much of our audience is well past that point.
Quotidian.
Yeah, I don't believe
think we have a lot of sexy time going on with our listeners?
Yes. Well, you've heard that in nursing homes, STDs are a problem.
Right. So
STIs.
Yes. Okay. So
We need to get to the bottom of that, by the way.
So are we in between the sexy time at home and the sexy time in the nursing homes? We're just in the no sexy time at home? That's our audience? That's what you're implying?
Yes. Yeah.
There is one ED commercial. I don't want to be rude, but it talks about how it boosts your performance in and out of the bedroom. And I feel like maybe you
Well, that just means that means you're day to day.
You shouldn't boost your performance out.
Yes,
of the
yes. It just means
bedroom.
you're out of your day to day. Which I got a lot of energy today.
Day to day?
Well, you're out and about on the
anything.
town. Anything.
What's out and about?
You're not not that. Man, we're just talking about being out in public and doing things. Going to the store, buying things.
I got it.
At the mall, in the park, whatever it is you might be doing. Okay?
Hey, we have a texter who said that Todd Krentz should host our show. He's funny.
Todd Krentz is very funny.
What a compliment. First of all, compliment to him. You didn't have to snuff out our candles, though.
Yeah, that's right. You can't your candle doesn't
But
burn
it does,
brighter.
though.
It does.
It does.
Actually.
If you blow out everyone else's candle, your
Mm-hmm.
candle looks really bright.
Have you ever had an iPad or your phone screen on in a dark room and it's just a little bit of light? Brights up the whole thing, man. So it is totally true.
Yeah. At any rate, I don't know. I just feel like there's got to be something between the woke radical liberals and the erectile dysfunction commercials that we could play that would be a little bit less jarring.
I do think the ED commercials are far more useful for a lot of people.
Well,
Yeah.
What are you going to do with woke radical liberals in the bedroom?
I'm sure we have. Well, I don't know. They use wiener pills too. Everybody does. It's Chris and Amy on KMOX. When we come back, we are going to talk to Scott Warman, FanDuel Sports Network Midwest. The Cardinals make a big trade yesterday, the first of what we think will be maybe many to come. Sonny Gray to the Red Sox. We'll talk to Scott Warman about what might be next on KMOX.
Hey guys, Dave Glover here from the Dave Glover Show. So, what is my show? My show is 4 different people living 4 different lives, all coming together every day between 1 p.m. and 5 p.m. to talk about life, actual life. Not so much headlines or did you see what Trump did today or XYZ. Never predictable because I never know what I'm going to talk about from one segment to the next. So it truly is unique and unpredictable. Join us.
104.1 FM, KMOX. Now, KMOX weather from the Saliga Heating and Cooling Weather Desk.
All right, here's what AccuWeather says. After a cloudy start, the sunshine will return, and by golly, they're absolutely right. The sun is peeking out behind the clouds. It will be windy and cool and dry for holiday travel. It's 41, a high today of 45. The low tonight, 31. Weather sponsored by the Penn Mutual Life Insurance Company, PennMutual.com/STL. Times are always changing, but Penn Mutual stands the test of time. The 178-year-young mutual company is leading the way in life insurance. Ask your independent advisor or go to PennMutual.com/STL.
It's time for a $98 furnace tune-up.
For 100 years, KMOX has been part of St. Louis. Now, Together Credit Union is helping celebrate that legacy. Starting in November, visit any Together Credit Union branch to pick up a KMOX 100th anniversary commemorative ornament for just $5 while supplies last. Each ornament supports Children's Miracle Network of Greater St. Louis. Together Credit Union, honoring 100 years of KMOX, the voice of St. Louis, and Children's Miracle Network of Greater St. Louis, improving the health of all children.
Winter Wonderland, presented by St. Louis County Parks and Recreation at Tillis Park, is open Wednesday, November 26th through January 3rd. Enjoy more than 1 million dazzling lights with holiday characters and festive scenes. Whether you're carrying on a family tradition or starting a new one, you'll never see anything like Winter Wonderland at Tillis Park. Happy holidays from Kirkwood Fence, Tully Tire, Washington U Orthopedics, Restoration One, and Happy Roof. Get more info at KMOX.com.
250 years ago, a promise was made to connect families and friends near and far. And during the holidays, that promise is more important than ever. That's why USPS is building a better network to meet your needs with timely deliveries, easy and affordable ways to ship, and everything you need to make your season full of holiday cheer. Our purpose is delivering your peace of mind, knowing your love will arrive, bringing joy to all. The United States Postal Service. Learn more at USPS.com/holidays.
Hey, this is Charlie Brennan. Have you noticed loose bricks or missing mortar around your house? On the walls, the patios, the walkways, the porch, or the chimneys? If so, you need to call Morelli Tuck Pointing. 314-645-1387. You might need one of two things: solid tuck pointing, the removal of old mortar with the replacement of new mortar throughout an entire wall or chimney, or maybe just spot tuck pointing. Spot tuck pointing involves the tuck pointing of a particular wall, a chimney, or other masonry surface in an area where it's needed the most. One example might be settlement cracks, usually found above or below windows or doorways. 314-645-1387. Call the company that the Brennans have called when we've needed tuck pointing. Morelli Tuck Pointing, the masonry specialists. winner of the Angie's List Super Service Award every year since 2005. 314-645-1387, MorelliTuckPointing.com.
Tom Ackerman here for Busey Bank, recognizing the Guardian Angel Settlement Association as a building community partner. Guardian Angel serves under-resourced community members, helping them take the first step on the path to possible. They assist over 5,000 individuals in our community through their early childhood education and social stability programs. To learn more about Guardian Angel, Google Guardian Angel STL. Busey Bank encourages you to get involved. Together, we can build community.
This is Pat Buring, Executive Vice President at Busey Bank. At Busey, community and giving back are at the heart of everything we do. We're more than a bank. We're your neighbors and your partners. We take pride in engaging with the communities we serve and building lasting relationships, because our commitment to strengthening our communities is a top priority. Whether you're shopping local or giving back through volunteerism, every little bit counts. Join us at Busey Bank as we continue building the communities we call home.
It's a Thanksgiving Day football feast Thursday as the Chiefs face the Cowboys.
Sightman Cancer Center game time, 2 p.m. Sightman Cancer Center, national leaders in cancer.
The Chiefs, the Cowboys, on your home for Chiefs football. 104.1 FM KMOX.
Chris and Amy on KMOX, and we're with you until 12 o'clock. Then the Gas House Gang happens. It'll be Tom Ackerman and me today with you 12 to 1. We'll talk about that Sonny Gray trade and more. In fact, we are going to do a little bit of that discussion now with Scott Warman, studio analyst on FanDuel Sports Network Midwest, who covers both the Cardinals and the Blues. And we'll get to the Blues in just a moment because they do play a game tonight. But Scott Warman, first of all, thank you for being with us. Yesterday, the Cardinals, well, the dam broke a little bit. They have traded away Sonny Gray. It's a name that we figured was going to be on the move this winter, and it's happened. He's off to Boston. They get a couple of pitchers in return. What are your thoughts on that deal?
I think it was probably highly anticipated, kind of like you mentioned there, Chris, is the fact that I think people were just, you had signings and, the Rule 5 draft, but everybody's waiting for when was Heim going to make his first big move, and now we got it. Now what happens after this, I'm sure we'll get to that as we go along in the conversation, but I think as you mentioned, the dam burst yesterday. Sonny Gray, a guy who had a no-trade clause, talked to Heim before the season was over with, and he was open to, being dealt. And I think this is a perfect example right now of we're seeing a different hierarchy within the Cardinal organization, obviously. But I think you're definitely, if you didn't feel that there was a retool or a rebuild going on, I think this definitely, Chris, has its prints all over it. When you got a guy like Sonny Gray, who, was basically the Cardinals' ace for the last couple of years, goes off to Boston, and the Cardinals get a couple of young pitchers, and the one Brandon Clark, who was in Single A last year, a fifth-round draft pick last year, or 2024, I should say, by the Red Sox, has got some upside, but there's still work to be done. So this is more of a project. But I think this is, to me, and this is just conjecture, this is no inside information. I think this is just the first domino of many dominoes more than likely to fall for this baseball team in the offseason. I mentioned this, I was on a radio show last night, Chris and Amy, is I go back to when I was a kid and Whitey Herzog took over. And there's like you guys, a generation where you never seen a rebuild with the Cardinals. Well, Whitey had a rebuild when we were kids back in the 80s, or at least when I was a kid, and Whitey went nuts. Augie Bush on the team, he said, have at it. I remember he made for Raleigh Fingers, hired him from Diego, and then turned around and traded Fingers and several other guys for a trade, and then traded for Bruce Sutter. But that was Whitey's way of putting his paw print on taking over the organization. Obviously, Whitey was not only the manager but the general manager, and I think we're just starting to see the beginnings of that with Chaim Bloom taking over.
So the one big name, and I guess there are a couple here that we're really paying close attention to. One of them is Nolan Arenado, who did have some interest last time, so last offseason, and did not accept a deal, though there were reports the Cardinals had something in place with the Astros. He was not keen on going there, but now he's more open to it, according to reporting. What's the likelihood they can move him this time around? Because to me, it seems like it's now 1 year more difficult to do that.
Chris, I think you're spot on. I talked to someone who is a national analyst on MLB, and he's pretty tied in. And he gets the vibe from talking to people around the league that this is going to be a very, very difficult trade for the Cardinals to make. I think after the last couple of years, we can see Arenado is still at a very peak level when you talk about defensive third baseman. But from an offensive standpoint, he is a shell of himself. Let's be honest about it. And he's not a third or fourth place hitter anymore. And you have that big contract to try to unload, or what are you going to eat, I think is the big part. And to be honest with you, Chris and Amy, is the fact that I think the two surprises for me in the Sonny Gray deal is how much money the Cardinals gave Boston, $20 million, to complete this deal. The other part is I understand that, Sonny, I guess, lives in Nashville, and one of the things that was attractive to him to come to St. Louis was being closer to home. Well, now he's a little bit farther away from home in Boston, but maybe he's got later in his career as an opportunity to win with Boston having some terrific talent up there. But to get back to Nolan Arenado is the fact that, the Cardinals already ate $20 million. How much can they, or are they willing to eat if they can unload a guy like Arenado? And, I don't think you can expect a whole lot in return. And again, this is talking to someone that's pretty tied into Major League Baseball. So I think it's a really, really interesting question. But I agree with you, Chris. I think this is more difficult than what I think a lot of fans and other people might realize that Chaim Bloom has on his hands.
Scott, we have all talked about the Blues this year, not the start they wanted, which is, I think, highlighted by the fact that going into the season, the mantra, the understanding was that the Blues had to get off to a great start because you couldn't afford to fall behind this season. Well, they've fallen behind. So my question is, for you, do you see points of hope that fans can look at with this team and say, here's a reason they could turn it around?
I actually do. And I know it sounds crazy. I work for FanDuel, I'm a homer, whatever. But if you look at the numbers, in fact, I just looked at some of the numbers this morning in preparation for tonight's game, is the fact that the goaltending, the combo of Bennington and Hofer have much better. You can even see it with the untrained eye, but you even look at the numbers and some of the stats we got this morning. If you look at their numbers in October compared to November, it's almost night and day. So that's probably one of the most important things, is the fact that that's kind of turned around, and I can't say kind of, it has turned around in a very positive direction. And that's, it's like pitching in baseball. And we're going to see, I think, Chaim Bloom, Chris, go and get as much pitching as possible during this offseason. Goaltending is the most important part of most important position as far as their hockey team. And you want to make some hay, whether it's the regular season, making the playoffs, or in the playoffs. The second point I would make is the fact that there is so much parity right now in the National Hockey League, with the exception of a few teams, that if they, meaning the Blues, get out of these early season doldrums and start catching fire, they're right there. And I know it sounds crazy, as disappointing as the start of the season has been, Aim, but I think before Monday's loss to the Rangers, the Blues somehow were just 5 points out of a playoff spot.
Yeah.
Which is crazy, as disappointing as they've played. But those are some of the positives. But still, there's a lot of stuff to get cleaned up. Now this hockey team's getting the goaltending, and now they're not getting the goal scoring. I think over the last 4 or 5 games, our producer, Timmy Pabst, who's produced Blues games for 30 years, told me yesterday on the phone that we're averaging less than 2 goals a game over the last 4 or 5 games. Well, that's just not going to cut the mustard at all. You got to find the back of the net a whole lot more.
Well, yeah, Jake Neighbors missed 12 games. He's still tied for the team lead in goals.
Right. Exactly.
That's not great. I mean, it just you cannot win. Well, it was a really bad combo that the goaltending was not great and the Blues couldn't score. That's probably the perfect recipe for losing a lot of games. But I do agree with you. The goaltendings look different. You saw 2 games ago with Jordan Binnington. I think it was 30, 31 saves, something like that. He stole those points from the New York Islanders. And even Joel Hofer, I know that he lost that game, but I wouldn't put that on him. He kept that game as close as it was.
He did.
Getting Jake Neighbors back is big. Now, they were still losing when they had him, but I think at this point, you would take any kind of jolt you could get. And to your point about them not being out of it, through 23 games last year, the Blues had 21 points. Through 23 games this year, they have 20 points. And they both years, they play that last game against the New Jersey Devils the day before Thanksgiving. And they did win that game, so the Blues went into Thanksgiving with 23 points, and the Blues have a chance tonight to go into Thanksgiving with 22. So right there, although the New Jersey Devils have they not lost at home? Is that what we said? Yeah, they have not yet had a regulation loss at home.
Right. Well, you're hitting a gauntlet right now when you think about not only this game, but you come home for 3 games starting on Friday afternoon, and Ottawa just got Brady Tkachuk back along.
Oh, Scott Warman's phone he's been eaten by his cell phone. That can't be good.
It sounds like maybe through the whole conversation he was walking downstairs and he just got into the basement.
This is just not the time to walk downstairs.
I often tell our guests that.
Before they get on?
He was trying to find the Blues in the standings.
Scott, are you okay?
Yeah, I'm fine.
Right.
I haven't moved.
All right, what the hell's... Well...
Sorry, we definitely did not accuse you of walking downstairs into a basement.
No, we didn't. You did.
I heard Raji.
No, that was her.
Me.
She started it. Amy started it.
Okay, so you said...
Guess your cell phone must have cut out at that time, the perfect time.
We're going for a gauntlet because we're playing Ottawa, who just got Brady Tkachuk back, he missed 20 games. And then continue, Scott.
And then you've got Utah, who has been a thorn in the Blues' side for the last few years, off to a great start. Clayton Keller, the Chesterfield native, is coming in. And then you've got Anaheim, and the former Blues coach, Joel Quenneville, has turned Anaheim around, and they're having a terrific season that was unexpected with all the young talent the Q has down there in Southern California. So you got a really, really tough homestand coming up after this tough game in Jersey to wrap up this long road trip. So they're going to have to turn things around. You're right. I mean, you bring a great point. And unfortunately, for the last 3 years, the Blues have gotten off to slow starts. And last 2 years, we saw coaching changes. Well, they're not going to have a coaching change now if this continues, because Jim Montgomery signed a 5-year deal. Army loves him, and he's not going anywhere. So I'm not insinuating that something else happens. There's a lot of rumors circulating, but I think they want to get like a Jake Neighbors and get guys turned in the right direction. I will say that I think for a team aspect, you haven't seen Monty really change up the lines that much, Amy. Mm-hmm. You see Dvorsky with Shin and Buchnevich. You've seen Suter going with Holloway and Kyrou, and I think that settles things down from an offensive standpoint. Now, again, has it provided more goals? But I think if you let that settle down a little bit, I think maybe you can probably get something going there. I think this team is better than what we've seen, and that's why I'm disappointed and surprised at what the start has been, especially when you think about what happened towards the end of last season, and obviously the disappointment of losing Game 7, but to be there toe-to-toe with one of the best teams all the way to the end of the first round in Winnipeg, that just shows you haven't had that much of a change in personnel, that the team is there. When they're rolling, they can be one of the better teams in the National Hockey League. So I guess there is light at the end of the tunnel, but you just want to get out of this funk that you've unfortunately started in this season for the 3rd straight year.
Yeah, and here's the thing about this. Yeah, they've proven that they can do this, that they can have a great second half and overcome bad first half, and they've done it multiple times over the last 6 years. But why? You don't want to keep playing around with this.
No, not at all. I don't know if I was on with you guys or I did something with Matt on Sports Open Line because I was asked about, the start of the season. And even Monty said during training camp, no, we need to get off to a fast start. We don't need to dig ourselves into a hole and then try to dig out of that hole in the second half of the season. Well, for whatever reason, Chris, they've done it again. But hopefully they can turn things around and get some inspiring hockey. I'll say this. We just got an email from one of our corporate bosses, and our ratings for Blues games are up significantly from last year. So if they start playing better, I mean, the ratings are going to remain the same, but if they keep playing like this funk that they've been in, the ratings are going to quickly go back down like we saw last year as far as our TV ratings are concerned.
There's always a lag. I mean, it takes a little bit of time, but it will happen if they continue to play poorly. Scott Warman, we appreciate you. Thank you for being with us today.
Always good to be with you guys. Happy Thanksgiving.
Studio analyst for FanDuel Sports Network Midwest, Scott Warman, on the show today.
Maybe they like climbing out of holes that they've dug.
Well, that's great, but at some point the shovel's going to break. You can't just keep doing this every year. And you can't just say, well, they've done it before or they're going to do it again. Not that you are doing that. I'm just saying that they can't do that because at some point it's just not going to be there. Might be now.
We're not sure. Hopefully it's not.
I hope not.
Hopefully it's not now.
But this could be it, bro. Get your crap together.
Get it together, boys.
It's Chris and Amy on KMOX. Gas House Gang at 12 o'clock. Don't forget.
It's time now for today's Spotlight on Money.
A little bit of creativity could help you save big money on that big holiday party. Secret Santas, donation drives, ornament exchanges, and white elephant gifts are just some ways to avoid breaking the bank. Business writer Jennifer Waters says you should find an acceptable spending level and stick to it.
You really do have to create a budget, plan ahead, focus on some low cost or free activities.
I'm Rob Hart.
Are you tired of online threats? Then get an antivirus. It's the only online protection you will ever need.
Disclaimer, an antivirus is just half protection online. It will not protect you from snoopers or encrypt your online traffic. So this Black Friday, get better online protection with NordVPN. NordVPN will encrypt your traffic, protect you from malware and phishing, and stop annoying ads. Get the NordVPN Black Friday deal with 73% off and enjoy 3 extra months.
Attention. Have you racked up $10,000 or more in credit card debt? Are you barely getting by making minimum payments? With credit card debt reaching all-time highs, National Debt Relief is notifying consumers about significant debt relief options currently being made available to help those with overwhelming credit card debt. These options may reduce a large portion of credit card debt for those who qualify. You don't need to declare bankruptcy or take out a consolidation loan, and you may only have to pay back a fraction of what you owe, even if you have bad credit. National Debt Relief has already reduced the credit card debt for more than 550,000 consumers, so don't wait. If you owe $10,000, $20,000, or even $100,000 in credit card debt, you can now take advantage of this financial debt relief as the cost of living continues to skyrocket. To check what debt reduction you may qualify for, call 800-224-5353. That's 800-224-5353. Again, that's 800-224-5353.
Winter Wonderland, presented by St. Louis County Parks and Recreation at Tillis Park, is open Wednesday, November 26th through January 3rd. Enjoy more than 1 million dazzling lights with holiday characters and festive scenes. Whether you're carrying on a family tradition or starting a new one, you'll never see anything like Winter Wonderland at Tillis Park. Happy holidays from Kirkwood Fence, Tully Tire, Washington U Orthopedics, Restoration One, and Happy Roof. Get more info at KMOX.com.
Sponsored by Progressive. We make the claims process easy so you can get back on the road in no time. It's why over 43 million drivers trust Progressive. See for yourself at Progressive.com.
I'm Ed Evans, CEO of Consumer Cellular. Ever wonder why Big Wireless wants you on an unlimited plan? They probably want you to cover the cost of those 20-somethings using all that data every month. But most people 50 and up like me only use 12 gigs or less. Don't get bamboozled by Big Wireless. Switch to Consumer Cellular. Our plans start at just $20, and we use the same towers as the big guys. Join the millions who choose something better, because if you're not using all that data, you're probably getting used.
Call 1-888-FREEDOM, visit consumercellular.com/facts or a store near you. Plans include $5 credit for auto pay and e-billing. See site for additional facts.
My name is Whitney Allen. I am a widow. My husband, Ryan, died. We never thought in a million years we'd have to use life insurance. The unexpected happened. With Ethos, it is so fast and easy. It's 100% online. You can get a quote in seconds, apply in minutes, and get same-day coverage. No medical exams, and you can get up to $3 million worth of coverage through Ethos.
Get your free quote at ethos.com/radio. That's ETHOS.com/radio.
Time spent on application may vary. Online health questions required.
You've got your whole life ahead of you, so choose a Medicare plan you can count on. And that's what you get with a Medicare Advantage plan from United Healthcare. With more than 45 years' experience serving its members, United Healthcare has plans with low monthly premiums that fit your life today and as your needs change tomorrow. The Medicare annual enrollment period ends December 7th, so go to uhc.com/Medicare today. United Healthcare Medicare plans. It's Medicare coverage Missouri can count on.
Looking for some iced caffeine, left you in the cold. No one knows why brown water costs as much as liquid gold. Told him your name was Brian, why does this cup say Nicole? But then you found paradise in your cup at the Quick Trip. No regrets to start your day.
Chris Ronchi, Amy Mark scores because life is too short for boring radio. 104.1 FM KMOX.
Oh my gosh, we forgot. Yesterday was the birthday of the illustrious and esteemed American treasure, Amy Grant.
Oh.
We have this album, A Tennessee Christmas, on vinyl, and I would come down on Christmas morning at like 6 or 6:30 a.m. The only other person who would be up would be my dad. He would have a fire going in the fireplace, and this album would be on. This is the best feeling ever. It's a very specific conversation I'm having just for me. Okay.
Yeah, this song blows.
It's so good. On Twitter, at ChrisAmyKMOX, we have a feast of questions for you this week. Because on Tuesdays, we have our question of the week, but we did a bunch of questions of the week. Probably because we were indecisive, but we were trying to couch it as being themed.
No, we were offering you a ton of offerings, like a Thanksgiving dinner.
That's the idea. Here are some of our questions. What is the best pie? Pumpkin, apple, pecan, or other? And let me tell you, it's close. It's close. Another one. Are you a Black Friday shopper? Yes, I go out to shop. Yes, I shop online. Yes, I do both. Or no. Not that close. And also, when do you put up your Christmas tree? Before Thanksgiving, on Thanksgiving, or after Thanksgiving? And let it be known that it was Ranj over there who said that we should make one of the options on Thanksgiving. I have never heard of that, and I guess he said he did it once. And not very many of you have put up your Christmas tree on Thanksgiving.
But some people have.
Which is shocking to me because you are so full and tired. The last thing I'd want to do
not
is
everybody
put
is
up
full
a
and
Christmas
tired.
tree.
It could be a family gathering
I feel
sort
like
of
you
event.
live your life full and tired.
Okay. That makes sense. But I feel like people were all together. You got your whole family together. Maybe it's a thing that that some folks do.
Some definitely.
It's an activity at night.
Not many. But that's why we have before Thanksgiving, on Thanksgiving, and after Thanksgiving. If
There you
you
go.
put up your tree on Thanksgiving, do you do it in the morning or in the evening? At least
you do it at night.
What?
Yeah, you do it at night when the it's dark. You put the lights on. You get the tree upstairs from if it's been in the basement.
Well, anyway,
I would think it's a lot of artificial tree people.
You can. Oh, yeah, that's a good point. You can vote at ChrisAmyKMOX on Twitter. You can also text us 314-436-7900. We had one person say many people, but recently a texter said he had never heard of Blackout Wednesday, and he was Gen X, and it is Skanksgiving. But here is a 618 who is a Gen Z, said, I think it's always been Blackout Wednesday.
So there you go. I think it's
That's
interchangeable.
Gen Z.
Yeah, it's interchangeable.
I don't think so.
Well, you got a Gen Z just telling you that they've heard it this way.
Is Blackout Wednesday for like lonely people?
No. Do you know what it means to black out?
I do.
Okay.
Do you know what it means to have Skanksgiving?
Yes. It's the same thing.
Not really.
Well, it's the same thing.
I worked with a lot of millennials.
Yeah. Well, here's what Gen Z
They
telling
were not
you.
blacked out, I can tell you that.
They weren't?
Nope.
On the night before Thanksgiving?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's when you go back, this is what I was told, to sleep with all your high school friends. and then you go visit your family.
Yeah, do you know how you get to that point? By blacking out.
I don't think blackout. They're not
Okay.
blacked out.
Amy, just trust me on this.
They remembered it.
This is not the Charlie Brown Christmas I remember.
It's Chris and Amy on KMOX. From the Salvation Army, Major Adam Moore is coming in studio to talk with us. The Red Kettle campaign is ongoing, and we will talk to him about that next on KMOX.
What's up, Missouri? Tony Gonzalez here. I've spent a lot of Sundays right here playing in front of the best fans in football. And now it's almost your turn to get in the game because DraftKings Sportsbook is coming to the Show Me State on December 1st. Soon you'll get fast payouts when you win, a safe and secure app that's easy to use, and promos that keep the action going all season long. It's America's top-rated sportsbook app. New customers can sign up right now and score $300 in bonus bets on launch day, December 1st.
Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app and use code KMOX. New Missouri customers, sign up today and score $300 in bonus bets once we're live. That's code KMOX. In partnership with DraftKings Sportsbook. The crown is yours. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. 21 and over. Physically present in Missouri. Eligibility restrictions apply. Terms at DraftKings.com/sportsbook. Subject to regulatory licensing requirements. Bonus bets are non-withdrawable and expire 7 days after issuance. For additional terms and responsible gaming resources, see sportsbook.draftkings.com/promos.
Hey, Jeff, looks like your business is really booming, even in a tough time for businesses like ours.
Hey, Mike. Yeah, thanks to LendSeek, our business was able to take care of some outstanding bills and taxes and to purchase inventory and expand our product lines.
Wow. You know, my business needs working capital, but only from a reputable company that I can trust and count on. How does LendSeek work?
Fast and easy. Just apply at lendseek.com. Their AI lending platform gave my business access to over 100 funding programs with one simple application. And it costs nothing to apply.
At lendseek.com, you can receive business funding with no collateral, no prepayment penalties, and no restrictions on how you use the funds. Whatever your funding needs are, seek no more. Our AI lending marketplace has you covered. If you've been in business at least 1 year with annual revenue of at least $250,000, you could get the funding your business needs in as little as 24 hours. There's no obligation, so apply today at lendseek.com. That's LENDSEEK.com.
Here's an energy efficiency tip from Quiver River Electric Cooperative. Thinking about purchasing new appliances? Consider both the purchase price and the cost to operate the appliance over its lifetime of 10 to 20 years. When shopping, look for the Energy Star label. These Energy Star qualified products exceed minimum standards for efficiency and quality. You can save about 15% of your normal energy use with these appliances. For more tips, visit quiver.com or call us at 1-800-392-3709.
News, talk, cards. KMOX AM St. Louis. KMOX FM Hazelwood. Always live on the free Odyssey app.
I'm Tom Ackerman with this month's Siteman Cancer Center Spotlight, Pancreatic Cancer Awareness Month. And joining us is Dr. Rohina Pani.
Slightly higher, I would say, trend towards men, likely related to the lifestyle risk factors like smoking. But once you have diagnosed a patient with pancreatic cancer, the treatment options and the response to treatment is very similar for both genders.
Thanks to Siteman Cancer Center, national leaders in cancer. For more information, visit siteman.wustl.edu.
It is 11 o'clock, and right now we have partly sunny skies, 39 degrees in downtown St. Louis. I'm Debbie Monterey. A Kremlin spokesperson has watered down expectations that a peace deal is close to being struck to end the nearly 4-year-long invasion of Ukraine. Russian Presidential Press Secretary Dmitry Peskov also claims there are people in other countries, including the United States, who he says will try to derail these peaceful developments. Helena Yatchenko is a member of the Ukrainian parliament and says negotiators are leaving Ukraine out of the process.
As of the moment, I believe there are already enough of the evidence that so-called 28 points plan were drafted in Russia, in Russian language, then translated in English and basically communicated to Ukraine and Ukrainians through US. This is absolutely not acceptable.
Pope Leo thinks Americans should focus on gratitude as they sit around the dining room table at their Thanksgiving holiday.
I would encourage all people, especially with this beautiful feast that we have in the United States, which unites all people, people of different faiths, people who perhaps do not have the gift of faith, but to say thank you to someone, to recognize that we all have received so many gifts.
It's a season for holiday parties, and that may mean you're drinking more alcoholic beverages than normal.
Alcohol is a toxin, so it's going to have some negative impacts depending on the amount.
Michelle Wilson is a registered dietitian with Brands Nutrition. She says it can impact our liver and GI system and can reduce nutrition absorption.
Thiamine or B1, B12, folic acid, and zinc. And also, whenever we are throwing up or having diarrhea, we're losing a lot of fluid, and alcohol's already dehydrating because your body's trying to get rid of toxins and it needs to use a lot of fluid to do that.
Alcohol also has a lot of calories, but Wilson warns against cutting out the food your body needs to compensate. Megan Lynch, KMOX News.
Impaired driving crashes often spike during the holidays, and the Missouri State Highway Patrol says it's a troubling trend. Here's Lieutenant Eric Brown.
You have a lot of family gatherings. You have a lot of parties, work-related gatherings, and oftentimes alcohol or other impairing substances are involved in those. It can be very dangerous, obviously, to drive impaired. We know that impaired drivers often cause crashes, often cause fatal crashes.
From the business desk, sponsored by Krentz Financial Group, KFGadvisors.com, concerned AI may take over your job.
An MIT study found that artificial intelligence can already replace 11.7% of the U.S. workforce. According to a labor simulation tool called the Iceberg Index, AI can perform many of the same skills, saving as much as $1.2 trillion in wages. The researchers say the index isn't designed to predict exactly when or where jobs will be lost, but instead meant to give a snapshot of what today's AI systems can already do. Stacey Lynn, CBS News.
The weather sponsored by the Woodlands of Arnold Senior Living.
Blustery and quite chilly this afternoon with intervals of clouds and sunshine. The high 45, partly cloudy and cold tonight, low 29. Thanksgiving Day will turn out mostly sunny, breezy, and quite chilly, high 44. From the Saliga Heating and Cooling Weather Desk, I'm AccuWeather meteorologist Joe Lundberg on 104.1 FM KMOX.
Partly sunny, windy, and 41 degrees right now in downtown St. Louis. I'm Debbie Monterey, KMOX News.
The Woodlands of Arnold campus offers skilled rehab, a beautiful assisted living community, and a secure memory care to keep your loved ones safe. Check us out at rspseniorliving.com. That's rspseniorliving.com.
Chris and Amy now. The Dave Glover Show at 1 on the voice of St. Louis, KMOX.
Chris Ranji, Amy Mark Scores with you, and joining us now in studio is Major Adam Moore with the Salvation Army. As you heard me talking about the past couple of days, the Red Kettle campaign for the greater St. Louis area is off and running, and the Salvation Army has big goals this year, knowing that the need right here in our community is greater than ever, not only because of financial challenges. A lot of famous people are facing
Famous people.
I don't know.
Even the famous people are struggling.
A lot
It's
of
hard being a
people
celebrity.
are facing. I don't know. A lot
Need knows no season,
That's
right?
right. A lot of people are facing here in St. Louis, but also because of the tornado that hit our region as well. And so, Major Adam Moore, thank you for joining us. And we just found out, too, Salvation Army runs in the family.
It does, yes. I'm a second-generation Salvation Army officer, and it's sort of in our blood. All that I've ever wanted to be was a preacher, and the Salvation Army gives me that opportunity, as well as the privilege to be able to serve suffering humanity. And so it's a good fit for me. It's sort of what I was made to do.
Well, the Red Kettle campaign gala that we had this weekend, where they light the tree of lights, and there was so much going on downtown. Unrelated, it was also the Musial Awards.
Right.
But because of all that, I felt like downtown was buzzing. You had the Salvation Army Gala, you had the Musial Awards, then you had the Tree of Lights and the Winterfest, where
Keener Plaza.
And they light the beautiful
Yeah.
tree. The parade, that it was a good day for the Salvation Army, and St. Louis showed up and was very generous.
Absolutely. It was a great day for St. Louis. I can't remember when I saw so many people downtown. that they just came out in droves, it seemed like. And we were privileged to be in the parade. That's one of our fun things that we get to do every single year of the Thanksgiving Day and parade. And even though as a community, we've really faced some trying and difficult times over the last 12 months with windstorms and government shutdowns and all of those things, we really do have much to be thankful for. And so we're excited about that. We did the Red Kettle campaign kickoff. I happen to be in the room with our illustrious chairperson, and we're so very grateful, Amy, that you're doing that. It is just a drop in the bucket goal of $5.6 million. And I always say that it's not about the dollars and cents that goes into those kettles, but it's the change that comes out 365 days of the year. And then you mentioned the tree lighting. It's been the privilege of the Salvation Army to be woven into the fabric of the community of Christmas right here in St. Louis for over 78 years. And interestingly enough is that the first tree of lights was here, and now that positively impacts the entire nation, that even little communities in Boone, Iowa, has a tree of lights, and all of that started right here in the great St. Louis region in the ministry of the Salvation Army and being part of community. So very cool.
What about Salvation Army do people not know? Because when you're the average person, you think of it, you think of the Red Kettle, you think of the bells, you think of clothing donations. But what is it about the organization that people may not?
Yeah, well, our first greatest hidden secret is the mission of the Salvation Army is to preach the gospel of Jesus Christ and to meet human needs in his name without discrimination. So first and foremost, we're a church, and we see ourselves serving suffering humanity. The S's on our uniform sort of remind us that we are saved to serve, to make an investment into the lives of those who are unfortunate in our community. So that's our greatest kept secret. But we have 7 pillars of service that's beyond the Red Kettle and beyond the thrift stores that happen. It's food insecurity, it's youth development, it's affordable housing, it's meeting basic needs and disaster services, it's providing substance abuse services for more than 121 years now, right here in St. Louis. It is making sure that our seniors have safe places to stay as part of our affordable housing, but also good interaction. We're bridging generational gaps as many of our volunteers in our youth programs, our seniors. And then our newest pillar of service is that of addressing human trafficking. And a lot of folks don't know that the state of Missouri makes the top 10 list in human trafficking. And St. Louis per capita is right up towards the top. And so we're educating, we're talking about it. We're giving some opportunities for folks to see a pathway forward who have been trafficked. And then that goes back to providing housing. So that is an awful lot that people don't know. And we're so humbled that when we talk to our donors, and I ask them, why do you give to the Salvation Army? And some of them have been giving for 20, 30, 40, 60 years. And they say that we just trust you to do good. And that is our promise, to do the most good. 87 cents of every dollar right here in St. Louis goes into direct services to individuals, not overhead, not salaries, not buildings, that those 87 cents of every dollar is transforming the lives of our neighbors.
You know, at the other night at the event to kick off the Red Kettle campaign, you mentioned the 7 pillars and those services that you provide. One of the stories that was told was a man named Jeff who was dealing with addiction and I believe homelessness for years and couldn't get out of that cycle. And he had his little dog, Homie, that he said for 14 years he really took him through some tough times because of what he was dealing with. He turned to the Salvation Army, and not only did he get immediate help for those immediate needs like food, like shelter, but then also mental, emotional help, spiritual help, was able to overcome addiction, and eventually got a job, was driving the truck, was able to earn a paycheck, and he recently got a house. He said he had promised Homie a house and a yard. That completely changed his life.
Absolutely. And that's what the Salvation Army has the privilege of doing every day. And I'm humbled to be able to wear the Salvation Army uniform and to be our greatest #1 cheerleader in all of Greater St. Louis. But the Salvation Army doesn't belong to me. Amy and Chris, it belongs to you. It belongs to the listeners of KMOX. It belongs to the community. And we are only able to tell stories like that of Jeff because folks step up and see a need and respond to that. And that's what I love about being part of the fabric of the community of St. Louis, that anytime that there's a need presented, that this community comes and rises to the occasion and steps forward. And we have all the confidence of the world that they're going to do that over the next 4 to 6 weeks between now and the first of the year through our Red Kettle campaign.
Let's then talk about what the need is right now, because the need is always great and probably this year a little greater than it has been in years past. So in terms of food, in terms of donations, what is needed right now to help serve people?
Yeah, right now, our one of the needs that we want to bring to folks' attention is everybody's aware of the Red Kettle out there, but those Red Kettles don't generate income unless there's a bell ringer standing beside it. And so we would love for everyone that can to go to registertoring.com, put in your zip code, and you'll be able to find one of our local community partners, Deerberg, Schnucks, Walmart, Bass Pro Shop, to have an opportunity to ring the bell. There's lots of cool stories that come from bell ringers, and you'll be able to hear firsthand almost every single time I ring, someone tells me of how the Salvation Army has impacted their life. So we would want you to go to registertoring.com, sign up to ring the bell for the Salvation Army, be a part of Christmas, start a new tradition with your family, and that's our greatest need right out of the gate. We've already mentioned that we do have a $5.6 million goal, and so having folks who would generously give, even sacrificially this year, because we know that things are tight absolutely everywhere, we would encourage folks to go to stlsalvationarmy.org, and you can push the little donate now button that's there. Coming up next week is Giving Tuesday. We have a privilege of a local friend who has given us a $75,000 match.
Wow.
And so every dollar that's given, that it'll be doubled on Giving Tuesday coming up next Tuesday on December the 3rd. And then there may be those who are listening that may need some assistance, and we would encourage them to go to stlsalvationarmy.org, and there would be ways for them to be able to get assistance as well.
And with the bell ringing, which I did that last year, can't wait to do it again this year. It really is fun. It encourages the bell ringer as well. There's enough negativity out there, and you'll feel encouraged. But even most importantly, if you ring the bell for 2 hours, you can raise enough money to feed a family of 4 for a week.
Absolutely.
That's that's huge. And to know too that maybe if you're not in a position to give financially or give as much as you would want financially, you can give with your time and your smile and ring a bell for 2 hours, and that would also help.
Absolutely. The Apostle Paul reminded us not to look at our own needs, but also on the needs of others. And that's really what we have the privilege to do with the Salvation Army during Christmas, is we ask people to give. And this year, we're just asking them to give with joy of their time, their talents, and their treasures as we positively impact Greater St. Louis.
Oh, I was going to say, too, a couple of years ago, I worked at an Angel Tree gift drive because the Salvation Army provides Christmas gifts to more than 6,500 children in the greater St. Louis area, more than 6,500 kids in the greater St. Louis area. And we were out in Fenton in a parking lot, and we were collecting toys, and a woman came up and brought a bag of toys that she had just purchased. She had tears in her eyes. And she said, Amy, last year was really hard for my family. She had lost her job and she couldn't buy gifts for her kids. Yeah. And she turned to the Salvation Army, and they provided gifts for her. She got a job. Things started turning around. And so she was this time buying gifts to give back to the Salvation Army to help another family in need.
Yeah,
that's
absolutely.
Amazing.
That's full circle,
Yeah.
right? The story of Jeff making investment in others, and we're seeing more people who would have never thought that they needed the services of the Salvation Army before. That 6,500, we are really anticipating and planning that will be closer to 7,500 kids this year. Registration is still taking place, and those toys are still being collected. But we have the Airway Distribution Center out on St. Charles Rock Road in St. Anne. In the week of December 15th, that is the absolute happiest place in the world, because you see families who are coming in with the stress of Christmas, getting that perfect gift for that kid. when they come in the door, and then as they walk out with their box and bag of toys that they've shopped for, with personal shoppers walking them through Toy Town, the big smile and the relief that takes place is it's the happiest place in all the world.
Well, it's so special. I love the work of the Salvation Army. My family does as well. It's been something that's close to our hearts, so it's very personal, and I love, love, love that it stays here in St. Louis. You really are loving your neighbor. You're helping your neighbor in need. Major Adam Moore with the Salvation Army, thank you so much for joining us this morning at KMOX. We really appreciate it.
Thank you, and thank you for the time. And again, thanks in advance to the community for responding. And my prayer for all is that we have a very happy Thanksgiving and a very Merry Christmas.
Absolutely. And I think this is a perfect time then, if you're thinking, my goodness, I would love to help the Salvation Army. Well, as Major Adam Moore told us, there's a couple of ways you can help out with the Salvation Army. If you want to be a bell ringer, go to registertoring.com. You can enter your zip code and then pick from a whole list of available stores and dates and shifts. I've done it multiple times. It's super easy. An officer with the Salvation Army shows up, meets you there at the grocery store. If maybe you're the first one kicking it off that day, they'll have the kettle waiting for you, have the aprons and the bells. It's a ton of fun. And also, we talked about the Red Kettle campaign. I've got my virtual Red Kettle, and it's up at salarmy.us/Amy Mark Scores. So if you want to join me as we try to raise some money for the Salvation Army right here in St. Louis, as we mentioned, that goal, $5.6 million here in St. Louis. I know we can do it. We have such a generous city, and the need is greater than ever. So feel free to donate at my virtual Red Kettle, salarmy.us/Amy Mark Scores.
At Cardinal Glennon Children's Hospital, every moment with our patients is a gift. This holiday season, you can be the reason children have hope as they fight serious illness and reach milestones once thought impossible. Your gift provides life-saving care to those who need it most. Please donate today at treeofhope.org and be the reason a child has hope for tomorrow.
This is Congressman Bob Onder. For 43 days, the left kept the government closed, holding the American people hostage and demanding radical policy changes, including free health care for illegal immigrants. However, thanks to strong Republican leadership, the Senate voted to reopen the government and put America first. I'm thrilled to return to Washington so I can continue to vote to help Missourians, to secure our nation's borders, and to cut wasteful spending. Visit onder.house.gov to find the office closest to you.
Paid for by official funds authorized by the House of Representatives. You're listening to Leaf Filter Radio, and the guru of gutter protection himself, Chris Cunahan, is here to take your most pressing leaf-related questions and bring you a special Black Friday offer.
Hey, everybody, Chris here. I understand we have Ron on the line. Ron, where are you calling from?
Uh-oh. Ron, are you calling from a ladder?
Well, I was. I wanted to ask Chris what I need to do to get my gutters ready to have Leaf Filter installed.
Oh, Ron, you don't have to do anything. A Leaf Filter Trusted Pro will come out and clean out your gutters, realign and seal your gutters, and install Leaf Filter, America's #1 gutter protection system.
So I didn't need to get on this ladder?
Ron, Leaf Filter Trusted Pros are in your neighborhood and ready to help. Just visit leaffilter.com/deal to schedule your free gutter inspection and get up to 30% off.
Thank goodness. What was that site?
That's leaffilter.com/deal. And now, as a special Black Friday offer, you can get a free gutter inspection, plus up to 35% off. This is our best offer of the season. Unlock it now at leaffilter.com/deal. See representative for warranty details.
A KFC tale in the pursuit of flavor. The holidays were tricky for the Colonel. He loved people, but he also loved peace and quiet. So he cooked up KFC's $4.99 chicken pot pie. Warm, flaky, with savory sauce and vegetables. It's a tender, chicken-filled excuse to get some time to yourself and step away from decking the halls, whatever that means. The Colonel lived so we could chicken. KFC's Chicken Pot Pie, the best $4.99 you'll spend this season.
Prices and participation may vary while supplies last. Taxes, tips, and fees extra.
Selling your home, it's one of the biggest financial decisions you'll ever make. You could go it alone, trying to navigate market trends, determine fair pricing, and tackle tricky negotiations on your own. You could second-guess every decision, wondering if you're doing it right. Then there's the showings, the offers, and the mountain of paperwork. Or you could work with the expertise of a Realtor, here to guide and help protect as you make your next big move. Realtors are members of the National Association of Realtors. Right by you.
Discover the life you want at Fairwinds River's Edge in St. Charles. We deliver a life-enhancing environment that nourishes the mind, body, and spirit as residents lean into joy and embrace purpose in a new age of senior living. Simply put, we have your back so you can put your best foot forward. Join us Wednesday, December 3rd for our holiday craft fair, followed by happy hour with BB Boomers. Visit Fairwinds River's Edge on Facebook to learn more.
Glover here for my friends at Cantor Injury Law. Cantor is local, and we're here doing the work every day. We're right here in St. Louis, and we're ready to fight for you. CantorInjuryLaw.com or call 314-628-9999.
The choice of a lawyer is an important decision and should not be solely based on advertisements.
Thank you, St. Louis, for making Genesis of St. Charles the #1 Genesis dealer in Missouri for 2025. We know your time is valuable. That's why every purchase comes with 3 years of complimentary Genesis service valet. Unlock your e-price and save. That means complimentary vehicle pickup and delivery, plus a loaner vehicle at no additional cost. Or want something new? We'll bring the test drive to you. Visit GenesisofStCharles.com during the Genesis Signature Event. Based on GMA sales records for 2024. See dealer for details.
Hi, this is Dan McLaughlin. Congratulations to KMOX, 100 years strong as the voice of St. Louis.
Well, it is the day before Thanksgiving, which means it is a big travel day for a lot of people. I don't know why you'd be so insane to leave today to travel.
Yeah.
Did you see real quick was it a few days ago in China? They had like a 24-hour traffic jam. People were stuck in their cars for like 24 hours. It was crazy.
No, but then people would undoubtedly be running out of gas.
You would have to be.
And just abandoning their cars.
Yeah, it was absolute madness. But it happened in China fairly recently. I'm not exactly sure when.
I have a quick note for you.
Yep.
We do have a texter says Blackout Wednesday is depressing. Skanksgiving is a celebration. They get it.
Well, see,
They
here's
get it.
No. When you're celebrating, that's when you black out. So you might be traveling today. Maybe you are taking an airplane somewhere. You know,
But you're
flying.
you're flying in the plane. You're not taking it.
Yeah, I mean, you get in it, I guess. Well, the Secretary, Sean Duffy, has been telling everyone for the last week or so that you need to not be such a slob.
Again, I call this just maybe dressing with some respect. Whether it's a pair of jeans and a decent shirt, I would encourage people to maybe dress a little better, which encourages us to maybe behave a little better. Let's try not to wear slippers and pajamas as we come to the airport. I think that's positive. We've seen an uptick in maybe a degradation in civility in the airspace, and so I thought it is appropriate to, again, you can't legislate that, right? You can't mandate it, but I think if you ask people, could we do better? Could we be better? I think you won't get a better result unless you make the ask, and so I'm just making the ask. Let's all travel better together, and again, I think it honors our country, it honors our families, it honors our fellow passengers, and so I've made the ask, and I think we can do a better job. And by the way, most flights are pretty darn good, and people do behave really well with one another. It's just a few of those times where, again, don't take your shoes off and put your feet on the chair ahead of you. That's just, or maybe don't play your movie without headphones on. Just some simple things that can annoy the folks around you. We don't have to do that.
Okay, here's where he didn't gain me until the very end. I am absolutely 100% with him on taking your shoes off and putting your feet on the seat in front of you or listening to anything with your headphones off. Just listening to your iPad or your
Blows my
laptop.
mind.
It's crazy that people do this. Crazy.
And I don't know about you. I've experienced that. Like I've seen
absolutely, 100%.
This spring when we flew to Tahoe, we went by way of Phoenix, and my goodness, the lady on the plane, everyone's boarding, you're waiting to take off, just blaring a movie or some kind of video on her phone.
What do we do? Or playing a game?
Playing a game?
Yeah, when you play a game, there's always like chimes or whatever. Those chimes are really loud to the rest of the plane. So stop doing that.
The feet?
The feet thing is insane. It's just completely crazy behavior. Now, all the other stuff about like, dress up and
I agree.
And no, stupid.
Matthew, do you agree with me?
Or to imply that it has something to do with honoring America.
Did he say that? I thought it was civility. He was trying to combat the degradation of civility.
He said it was.
I thought it was honoring the country.
Yeah, honoring the country. Like honoring the country.
You can honor the country by wearing pants. It's the least we ask of you.
That's fine. I'm wearing sweatpants, and you're just going to live with that. Because if I'm getting on a plane at like 6 a.m., I'm not wearing a damn suit, you weirdo.
Well, not surprising. You wear a half zip to your corporate
This is
job.
not a half zip. This is a full zip.
Full zip.
That's twice the zip.
Yeah, it is
And also-
twice the zip.
Yeah. So I don't know what you're talking about. I don't care. I'm not dressing up for a flight. Why would you especially if it's a long flight? You have a 4 or 5 hour flight. I wouldn't dress uncomfortably for that.
I think there is.
Get lost, Sean Duffy.
I agree with Sean Duffy. I think there's a middle ground between pajama pants and a suit.
Jeans.
Or not even jeans. You could wear tasteful yet leisure trousers.
I'm not wearing any damn trousers.
Not even leisure trousers?
No.
They're for leisure.
Yeah, well, leisure these.
Leisure.
Yeah, you can.
Anyway,
it's a combination
Matt,
of both.
do you agree with Sean Duffy?
I'm somewhere in the middle too. I mean, I think it's nice. Like the idea of everybody wearing a suit, like, oh, it sounds nice. Like it sounds cool to be in that old timey life again, but it's not realistic to today. I like wearing a suit when I need to wear a suit. I don't want to be confined to a suit on a 4-hour plane ride.
Stupid.
Yeah.
See,
I think we should go back to wearing suits at baseball games.
So I was just going to say that.
Suits and ties and wool
At
hats.
hockey
Yeah, you go
games.
back to that.
Well,
if we're going to do it on airplanes, why stop there?
I do wear suits to hockey games.
Well,
I
you're
wear
working.
a suit. Right.
Yeah.
We should all wear suits to hockey games. Not baseball games. It's too hot.
But they did though back then,
I know. That blows my mind. But I do kind of like the look of the rolled up shirt sleeves and the loose tie, and everybody just looks hot, but still a little.
No, because they are hot. They are burning
a little bit
up.
of decorum.
They are dying out there. They do not
My
want.
political platform will be suits everywhere. Nothing but suits. You know who doesn't wear athleisure? Europe. They actually wear pants there. My friend in Switzerland is offended by how we all dress.
Well, I'll tell you, we'll make a deal. I will never wear athleisure again if we can
Do you wear
just have.
athleisure?
I don't know. I'm just saying I'll never dress comfortably again, and I will dress like they dress in Europe if we can have their health care. Free health care, never have to worry about anything.
First, we got to get their food restrictions.
Yeah, fine.
Then we could do that. The health care might be better.
I'm into it.
But just stop wearing leggings to the office. It makes everyone uncomfortable, Ranj.
Not me. I'm perfectly fine with
No.
it. Do what you have to do.
I don't think any of us like the leggings.
Disagree. Then why are so many people wearing them?
You have stirrup pants too, which
right.
is I respect, but I don't think it's appropriate.
The Midday Midlife, we will do that when we come back. Dr. Catherine Athens, a psychologist and author of The Heart Brain, a book detailing how stress and anxiety can increase your risk of disease. So we're going to have Dr. Athens help us survive the family tomorrow. That's coming up next. But what's also happening, because it is Thanksgiving, there is nothing like watching Thanksgiving football. And for fans in Missouri, this year, FanDuel is about to make it even better for you. Points giving. All FanDuel customers in Missouri get $1 in bonus bets for every point scored in the Chiefs-Cowboys game. So, for example, if the final score is 24-21, you get $45 in bonus bets. And it does not matter if you have already signed up for FanDuel or if you've been waiting to do so. You can do it now at FanDuel.com/Missouri and get in on the action. That's FanDuel.com/Missouri. You'll score some bonus bets for every point in the Chiefs versus Cowboys game tomorrow. Enjoy a football feast with points giving on FanDuel, coming soon to Missouri. That's next week on Monday. 21 and over and present in Missouri. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. Opt-in required. Bonus issued as non-withdrawable bonus bets, which expire 7 days after receipt. Restrictions apply. See terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com.
This Thanksgiving, KMOX has your holiday sports feast. It all starts on KMOX 104.1 FM at 2 o'clock with full game coverage of the Kansas City Chiefs. Then keep the action rolling as the St. Louis Billikens tip off their holiday matchup. Pre-game starts at 5:45 on KMOX 1120 AM. When Chiefs coverage wraps up, KMOX FM will join Billikens basketball already in progress. A Thanksgiving doubleheader, Chiefs and Billikens, only on America's Sports Voice, KMOX. Now, KMOX weather from the Saliga Heating and Cooling Weather Desk.
Currently, it is 41 degrees and the sun is peeking out behind some clouds. Windy and cooler today, a high of 45. The good news is it'll be dry for all of that holiday travel. Tonight, cloudy and cold, a low of 31. Weather sponsored by the U.S. Air Force Band of Mid-America Holiday Concerts.
Get into the spirit of the season with free holiday concerts by the U.S. Air Force Band of Mid-America, December 6th through 12th. Get free tickets and locations at afbandtix.org. That's afbandtix.org.
Just hearing the word IRS can make people break out in a cold sweat. No one wants to deal with the IRS, and now you don't have to. The good news is Legal Tax Defense has been successfully negotiating with the IRS for more than 15 years. It doesn't matter how much you owe, whether it's $5,000 or $5 million. You deserve the best in the business on your side, and that is Legal Tax Defense. Even if you're working with someone else and just want a second opinion, there is no cost or obligation to call. They can prevent levies, liens, wage garnishments, even file back tax returns. And the best news about Legal Tax Defense is they won't take your case unless they know they will reduce or eliminate your tax debt. Call Legal Tax Defense right now for a free no-risk consultation. 800-284-1238. 800-284-1238. You have nothing to lose but everything to gain. 800-284-1238.
It's a Thanksgiving Day football feast Thursday as the Chiefs face the Cowboys.
Siteman Cancer Center game time 2 p.m. Siteman Cancer Center, national leaders in cancer.
The Chiefs, the Cowboys, on your home for Chiefs football. 104.1 FM KMOX.
Thanksgiving's tomorrow, in case you didn't know. Better go out and do your Thanksgiving shopping. Tomorrow is a big day for families. It is one of the times of year where everybody gets together, and oftentimes it's perfectly fine. Everybody's having a good time. You're with people maybe you haven't seen in a while. There's food, there's drink, and then sometimes there's politics, or sometimes there are family arguments that take place. To talk about that with us today is Dr. Catherine Athans, a psychologist and author of The Heart Brain, a book which details how stress and anxiety can increase your risk of disease. And we thought we'd talk to Dr. Athans about surviving that big, toxic family Thanksgiving. Dr. Athans, we appreciate your time today. How are you?
Oh, I'm fine. Thank you. How are you? Can you hear me okay?
We hear you perfectly fine. So
perfect.
Yeah. So, all right, let's just try to give people, let's say you do have a family where things tend to pop off a little bit when everybody gets together. What is the first word of advice you would give to folks who are entering that situation tomorrow?
Well, understand what situation you're entering. And if you have a very charged family, take time before you go into that environment to do some deep breathing, some mindfulness, meditation. Decide that these are human beings that deserve respect and that you are not going to argue, no matter what they say, that you are going to acknowledge them, which is got it, great. You don't have to agree. And also eat some protein before you go.
Why is protein important?
Because protein will feed your brain. The brain needs protein. The whole body needs protein to function, but it will feed your brain, and you won't have a sugar rush or a sugar drop. You know, so much of the carbohydrates They bring you up, but boy, then they don't last long.
Yeah.
So if you can do that and really decide, how would you treat a group of strangers? Put on your best Sunday manners. Greet everyone. How are you? Nice to see you. And if someone pops off, turn to someone else and change the subject.
But also,
don't need-
this is good news. You're advocating for a pre-Thanksgiving meal of nothing but protein.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, I am
I love that.
advocating not a meal, but a snack.
Yeah.
You know, maybe a little piece of chicken or some
beef sticks,
a slice of beef.
Yeah.
You know, because that's going to hold you. Part of the reason people pop off and get very charged is they're hungry and their blood sugar goes.
That didn't even think about that.
So, do you think then that drinking wine, which is, I think, a solution for a lot of people when it comes to emotionally charged family dinners, do you think drinking wine then is a bad idea?
It's not a bad idea, but drink half a glass with your meal. Don't drink it on an empty stomach, but drink it with your meal. Be sure if you're having turkey, have plenty of turkey. You know, turkey has L-tryptophan in it, so it's going to make you tired. Or if you have ham, sip your wine with your meal, but don't drink it before and certainly not afterwards, because you're going to try to digest food that you probably haven't eaten in a year.
Okay.
And your body is going to go through a lot of gymnastics just to get that. Don't overeat.
Okay.
Do you know if you take your hand, make it into a fist, that's the size of your stomach.
Yes.
So just think about that.
So all you should be eating is what you can make a fist with.
That's right.
Okay.
That's right. Or if you want to eat slowly over a period of 2 or 3 hours, you know, and allow it to digest, then you could probably eat a little more. But we tend to stuff ourselves because we're supposed to. That's what Thanksgiving is. Stuff the turkey, stuff the person. And that's what causes a lot of problems.
All right. Let me present to you this thought process and tell me if this is flawed. What if you think because today is Blackout Wednesday or Skanksgiving, whatever you want to call it. Let's say your thought process is, I'm going to get so drunk tonight that I'm just going to have a hangover tomorrow and I won't want to fight with anybody. I'll be so tired and hungover, I won't want to argue with a soul. Is that a good thought process?
Absolutely not. How many people do you know who have a hangover who don't get in an argument?
That's a great point.
They're trying to sleep it off.
I used to work with this guy named Billy, and he always came to work hungover, and he did nothing but argue. He was mad.
Yeah.
That's because the blood sugar is going haywire, and the body is dehydrated because alcohol dehydrates you. What about going and sitting down, deciding that you're going to listen to people, acknowledge them? You're not going to make your point about politics or the economy or a relative that everybody hates. That you're not going to do that. You're simply going to be a guest at a lovely meal, and we have to be grateful because it seems like a third of our country is starving, which is horrific, you know?
Mm-hmm.
And so it's extremely important to be grateful and thankful. That will help derail the need to be right. We go into Thanksgiving and we think, okay, this time I'm going to get Uncle Joe. I'm really going to get him.
Well, he is the worst.
Yeah.
He is. He's the worst. Or if it's Aunt Susie, she's the worst.
She's the worst.
Okay, and
something of a floozy too, which I think reflects poorly on the family.
I think so, but so understand your own triggers. try to write them down the night before. Decide that you're not going to be triggered. You're going to practice a different behavior. This is very basic behavior modification where you ignore the bad behavior and you acknowledge the good behavior. And if someone goes on and on and on and on, you can simply say, okay, now, use the word NOW, isn't the sky beautiful this time of year? And change the subject. They may think you're a little wacko for doing that, but it will derail and it will put a pin on the rising ire and anger of people.
So this is like in all seriousness too, because I think this has happened. Let's say you have an extended family member who says something mean or offensive as a comment to another family member at the table, right? Because you would want to diffuse, but you'd also want to stand up for the person who...
No, you don't want to stand up for the person. What you want to do is you want to diffuse it by saying, wow, fabulous, now, and change the subject. And eventually for that family member, you want to say, you know, I really enjoy the fact you came all the way here, if they came a long way, or if they're wearing a particularly pretty sweater. I really like that. It looks really warm. I'm so glad you're here. You can do it later on with a lot of positive acknowledgement. Don't get into defending. That's when the fights really start to flow. Right? Because one defends and the other defends. And then now we have to take sides, and the sides are growing and growing, and the irritation is getting more and more. People are having indigestion. This could even be the cause of a heart attack at this big meal. Because don't forget, we're eating and drinking like we've never eaten and drunk the whole year, and suddenly we're putting things in our body that are very foreign, and we forget that the body has to recognize what gets put in it if it's going to get digested in a proper way. So you know.
So Dr. I want to try something here. I want Amy to be the bad person. She's
bad relative.
She's the bad relative. She's going to insult Matt, and then I'm going to try to move the conversation forward, and you tell us if this is good, okay?
Okay.
All right. Okay, Amy, you go.
All right, so we're eating. You know, Sally, I always thought Matt was something of a sniveling toadstool.
Okay, well, that's great. Amy, now, the Bears, I think, are much better than people are giving them credit for. And I want to stop talking about how they are not a very good 8-3 team, because it's just not very true at all. Dr. Athens, how was that?
Fabulous.
See, we did
Fabulous.
it.
A+, gold star. Yes.
I'm very happy about that.
And you know, if people look at you and think, oh, what's going on? It's better than them screaming in your ear or getting in your face or coming over and starting to demean you or demean someone else. We don't want to give bad behavior energy. We want to change the energy. We want to say things that are positive. We want to note how positive, you know, things are. We're getting enough rain. We're getting enough snow. The trees look beautiful. The food is beautiful. The table's beautiful. Thank the hostess, the host. We want to do that and really understand that this is a time to be on your best behavior.
So would you say, though, it seems like you said, focusing on the positives, something you can be grateful for, like everything you just mentioned was a compliment or something positive. Being intentionally positive as a distraction or to diffuse the situation is better than being random, because I know a lot of fun facts, but it sounds like it's not just about throwing off the negative energy. It's also infusing it with something positive. Like if I just had a random fun fact, would that work just as well?
Well, it might work to diffuse the situation. And I recommend, and this is, this is the ancient school, get a copy of Reader's Digest, and they have jokes in there and stories. Memorize 2 or 3 of them so that you can talk about them at the table if things get dull or somebody starts to act a fool. A fun fact is positive, right? And it's not emphasizing anything negative where you say, yeah, Sally, I heard that Sally was running around with so-and-so.
Oh.
Yeah,
So we're not doing gossip? No, gossip is not good.
Gossip is not a good thing. Primitive tribes shared what they call gossip, but what it was news of the day because they didn't have the internet. They didn't have social media. But they didn't badmouth people, or they didn't.
What if you badmouth somebody who's not there?
Well,
please don't.
Don't do that, Ranj. That's it.
Don't even try to do it. Don't badmouth anybody. Try to have a different behavior. We're going into a new year, and I'm teaching classes about letting whatever negative stuff we have stay this year and recognizing it and actually intentionally picking different behaviors to form different patterns of how we interact with each other, because it's miserable.
Yes.
On the news, they had an announcement of you should say please and thank you at the airport. It's like, really?
Yeah.
The news has to tell people.
Well, we're not very civil. I do agree. I agree.
I think reminders
we have lost
are good.
Civility.
Reminders are good.
Yeah. And I like the positive spin on things.
Dr. Catherine Athens, we love this conversation.
This was fun. It was fun and funny.
We appreciate you helping us out because we are not.
Oh, you're welcome.
Yeah, we're not.
Thank you.
I don't
Thank
do.
you for having me.
Well, thank you, and I don't do so well with other people. So if we could have you on from time to time to help us out, that'd be great.
Oh, absolutely. I'd love to. Thank you so much. And happy Thanksgiving.
Thank you.
And remember to be positive and to be thankful. And you're going to change people's behavior, because once they see you don't bite, you don't take the bait, then they will change their behavior. So you'll be a leader at your dinner.
Dr. Athens, you're the best. Thank you.
You're welcome. My pleasure. Thank you.
Dr. Catherine Athens, her book is called The Heart Brain, and that helps you how to deal with stress and anxiety. Also, you can visit her website, CatherineAthensPhD.com. She's
I thought
awesome.
that was fun. We do have someone watching on Facebook. Chris says, we just level people in our family. Only the strong survive.
Okay, that's
Come on,
not,
Chris,
that is
that's
not the list.
point.
You didn't hear
You didn't listen, Chris.
what Dr. Athens said. My gosh. Also, John says that Dr. Athens seems like a sincere and lovely person.
She does.
But he says, I don't agree with any slander of people at the table. You should not do that. It's bad, right?
You know
Amy?
who would never do that?
Todd Krentz.
That's right. Because we just talked to him today.
We talked to Todd Krentz today about 50-year mortgages.
He made the CAPE ratio interesting and engaging. And in all seriousness, Krentz Financial, the whole group there is pretty awesome. Todd Krentz, Justin Brown, and Kyle Bush, and they have been helping St. Louis families and businesses plan with purpose and live with confidence for over 6 decades.
All right, so what do you need? Are you leaving a job, going to a new one, have a 401k that's just hanging out there, not quite sure what to do with it? Krentz Financial can help you with that. Are you just in need of a new financial advisor because you're not happy with the one you have, or you haven't had one in the past? Krentz Financial can do that. They've got all the resources and support that you need.
Yeah, and I think the big question for a lot of us is retirement. How are we going to replace our paycheck? How can we make sure that we're going to be able to live to the standard that we want to travel, hang out with grandkids and friends, whatever it may be. Krentz Financial is proactive to make sure that you have your ducks in a row so you can enjoy the retirement you've worked a lifetime for.
So here's what you need to do. You take the first step by going to the website, kfgadvisors.com. It'll give you all the information you need, phone numbers and so on and so forth. And reach out to them and tell them what you're looking for, and they are going to point you in the right direction. kfgadvisors.com.
Securities offered through Raymond James Financial Services, Inc., member FINRA SIPC. Krantz Financial Group is not a broker-dealer.
You've got your whole life ahead of you, so choose a Medicare plan you can count on. And that's what you get with a Medicare Advantage plan from United Healthcare. With more than 45 years' experience serving its members, United Healthcare has plans with low monthly premiums that fit your life today and as your needs change tomorrow. The Medicare annual enrollment period ends December 7th, so go to uhc.com/Medicare today. United Healthcare Medicare plans. It's Medicare coverage Missouri can count on.
This holiday season, experience the power, the intensity, the legendary sound of Trans-Siberian Orchestra. Coming to Enterprise Center for 2 shows, December 23rd at 3 p.m. and 7:30 p.m. A portion of the proceeds from the 3 p.m. show benefits Sightman Kids at St. Louis Children's Hospital. Trans-Siberian Orchestra, 2 shows, Enterprise Center, December 23rd. For more information, kmox.com/events.
Bernie Miklas here for Saliga Heating and Cooling. Our family's called the Saliga family for 18 years, and we are grateful for Saliga's honesty, knowledge, and professionalism. They're the best. For more info, visit SaligaHeatingandCooling.com.
This is Congressman Bob Onder. For 43 days, the left kept the government closed, holding the American people hostage and demanding radical policy changes, including free health care for illegal immigrants. However, thanks to strong Republican leadership, the Senate voted to reopen the government and put America first. I'm thrilled to return to Washington so I can continue to vote to help Missourians, to secure our nation's borders, and to cut wasteful spending. Visit onder.house.gov to find the office closest to you.
Paid for by official funds authorized by the House of Representatives. You're listening to Leaf Filter Radio, and the guru of gutter protection himself, Chris Cunahan, is here to take your most pressing leaf-related questions and bring you a special Black Friday offer.
Hey, everybody, Chris here. I understand we have Ron on the line. Ron, where are you calling from?
Uh-oh. Ron, are you calling from a ladder?
Well, I was. I wanted to ask Chris what I need to do to get my gutters ready to have Leaf Filter installed.
Oh, Ron, you don't have to do anything. A Leaf Filter Trusted Pro will come out and clean out your gutters, realign and seal your gutters, and install Leaf Filter, America's #1 gutter protection system.
So I didn't need to get on this ladder?
Ron, Leaf Filter Trusted Pros are in your neighborhood and ready to help. Just visit leaffilter.com/deal to schedule your free gutter inspection and get up to 30% off.
Thank goodness. What was that site?
That's leaffilter.com/deal. And now, as a special Black Friday offer, you can get a free gutter inspection, plus up to 35% off. This is our best offer of the season. Unlock it now at leaffilter.com/deal. See representative for warranty details.
What's up, Missouri? Tony Gonzalez here. I've spent a lot of Sundays right here playing in front of the best fans in football. And now it's almost your turn to get in the game because DraftKings Sportsbook is coming to the Show Me State on December 1st. Soon you'll get fast payouts when you win, a safe and secure app that's easy to use, and promos that keep the action going all season long. It's America's top-rated sportsbook app. New customers can sign up right now and score $300 in bonus bets on launch day, December 1st.
Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app and use code KMOX. New Missouri customers, sign up today and score $300 in bonus bets once we're live. That's code KMOX. In partnership with DraftKings Sportsbook. The crown is yours. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. 21 and over. Physically present in Missouri. Eligibility restrictions apply. Terms at DraftKings.com/sportsbook. Subject to regulatory licensing requirements. Bonus bets are non-withdrawable and expire 7 days after issuance. For additional terms and responsible gaming resources, see sportsbook.draftkings.com/promos.
The Chris and Amy Show on 104.1 FM KMOX.
Well, we're going to have on Dr. Athens again because I thought
she was great.
Ideas were great. She was fun. And she even played along with our
We
skit.
did a role play.
We did a skit.
We didn't know that we were going to have to role play, and so we, I think last minute came up with an okay scenario. But just tomorrow, if you take anything away, take away that if somebody does try to start some crap, some political stuff tomorrow, and you know there's going to be a fight and you're all not like-minded, then change the subject. You might sound weird. Change the subject. Don't feed into it.
This will really get people going in a non-political way. Say, hey, wasn't John Wayne tall? And that'll start a whole conversation. It will. They'll be like, wait, what? Because I think he was tall.
I don't know, but half the group will go, who is John Wayne?
But the other half will be like, oh, John Wayne.
And our text messages, these are not helpful.
Oh,
like
are they
this
doing
one,
it again?
This one says, just bury their head in the mashed potato bowl. That'll shut them up real quick. No, that's not the spirit of what we're talking about. And also, no, it is not a good response to say, quiet, piggy. Do not do that to anybody in the room tomorrow.
Although it's Thanksgiving, we're all little piggies on Thanksgiving.
That's right. Hey, have a great Thanksgiving. We'll be back with you 9 o'clock Friday. The show comes back Friday at 9. It'll actually be me and John Hancock, or John Hancock and me. And then the show is back next week. All right? Have a great Thanksgiving. We'll talk to you soon. The Gas House Gang, Tom Ackerman and me, Chris Ranji, next on KMOX.
Go Bear.
It's time now for today's Spotlight on Money.